faulty alarm systems and could add another 21. But KTVU has learned not one of those buildings has fully complied yet. City leaders say they don't want to displace anyone unless there is imminent danger. And a nonprofit group dedicated to tenant safety says that has created a brand new problem.
What you create is a game of whack-a-mole. You close down one warehouse. Well, guess what? There's now 2 or 3 smaller warehouses, maybe, that are slowly percolating up.
The Safer DIY Spaces group says that's left a lot of tenants in limbo between having no safe place to live and having no place to live at all.
DNA test kits are a hot holiday gift again this year. They could help you make important decisions about your health. That was the case for 2 sisters and cancer survivors from Menlo Park. KTVU's Christina Rendon tells us how one sister's advice to take a physician-ordered test helped the other make an important decision, and the warning from experts before you do the same.
For Kim Garlinghouse-Jones, cancer has been a thread weaved throughout her life.
I started out as an oncology nurse because that was an area of interest of mine.
She studied breast and ovarian cancer in families, not knowing she would eventually develop breast cancer at age 40. The mother of 4 girls was nursing her youngest when she felt a lump.
I had been so healthy my whole life, and how could I have breast cancer? Turned out that I was advanced enough to need a double mastectomy and chemo and radiation.
Years later, and after a second diagnosis of tongue cancer, Kim took a genetic test. It showed she had a CHEK2 gene mutation. So when her sister Meg was diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years ago, Kim urged Meg to take a genetic test through a company called Color Genomics. Color, based in Burlingame, is a physician-ordered genetic test available online. The at-home saliva test looks for gene mutations linked to hereditary cancers and heart conditions.
She did testing, genetic testing with Color Genomics, to determine that she did not actually carry, and learned that she did not carry the mutation.
That information saved Meg from having a double mastectomy like doctors initially recommended. Instead, Meg had the lump removed.
She is incredibly relieved and grateful that she has that information, and she wouldn't have that information if I hadn't pushed to have genetic testing done in the first place.
Amy Blanco, director of the Cancer Genetics and Prevention Program at UCSF, says Color is a diagnostic genetic test.
The diagnostic tests, something like what Color is doing, is looking at these genes that are not common but associated with very high risk.
Meanwhile, Mountain View-based 23andMe is the only direct-to-consumer test that has FDA approval to test for genetic risk, cancer risk, medication response, and carrier status. Emily Gervant-Conley, Vice President of Business Development for 23andMe, says her company's technology is groundbreaking.
We've been able to show to the FDA that people can really understand this information. That was part of the FDA authorization process. We just get tremendous feedback. We have a really high rating from our customers.
But some customers are downloading their raw data and taking it to a third-party service for interpretation. A recent study by the American College of Medical Genetics and Genomics revealed a 40% false positive rate in the results from direct-to-consumer genetic tests and misinterpretations when analyzed by third-party services. The concern? This could create false reassurances or lead to unnecessary medical treatment.
We have significant disclaimers when people download that raw data that that data is processed in a different way. We're not standing by any interpretation of that information, but people have taken that and then they get these third-party interpretations of it, and that's where the confusion lies.
She says 23andMe stands by the test, but notes it's not a substitute for visits to a healthcare provider. Blanco agrees, saying anyone with a concern about a specific inherited risk should seek a genetic counselor or specialist.
There's all kinds of direct-to-consumer genetic tests out there, and as long as people realize that for entertainment purposes, that's fine. It's unlikely to really be useful for true healthcare.
She adds the Color test is more comprehensive. Kim says Meg was required to speak with a Color genetic counselor to interpret the results. Both sisters are in remission. And what have you learned from all of this?
That genetic testing is going to revolutionize healthcare. We don't need to be afraid of it, and I think it's changed the trajectory of my health and the health of my family.
Christina Rendon, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
On KTV.com, you'll see more stories like this one, all part of Strand of Truth, our half-hour special on DNA genetic testing. You can
to tonight, avoiding holiday stress. Up next, some tips on getting through the season intact.
Santa Claus is coming around. The Christmas snow is white on the ground. When old Santa
The real hotline bling is feeling extra generous. And we're sitting down with Empire's Tisha Campbell.
Today at 11 on KTVU Fox 2. Hurry into the Acura season of performance events going on now. This holiday, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX. Hurry, this event won't last.
You know when you're at Ross and the holiday spirit just hits you? Yes. For when you get the best deal on a treat for your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Or when you score a magical gift at an unbelievable price. Yes! Oh, yeah. That's yes for less. Ross has you and your list covered with gifts you'll love to give. And it feels even better when you find them for less. At Ross. Yes for less.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you probably have a lot of questions. Who will pay my medical bills? What about my lost wages? Will I receive compensation? Do I need a lawyer?
Call the Barnes firm now to get the answers and the help you need.
Call 1-800-800-0000. Injured? Call the Barnes firm now.
Hurry into the Acura season of performance events going on now. This holiday, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX. Hurry, this event won't last.
'Tis the season for chilly weather. Time to grab that jacket.
And donate some wet warm coat.
There are donation locations around the Bay Area. To find one near you, visit ktvu.com and look for one warm coat. Thanks for helping KTVU keep Bay Area families warm all winter long. And happy holidays from the KTVU Fox 2 weather team. Well, according to Healthline, a consumer health information site based in San Francisco, 90% of people surveyed say they get stressed out during the holidays.
So we have some help for you on how to keep these next few weeks manageable. We welcome back to the night Rena Vocone, founder of Passion Fit. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
One of your first tips is something I do all the time, and that is make a list.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. We obviously make lists personally and professionally, so why not make a holiday list as well? And take it a step further by maybe doing your top 3 priorities for each day.
So you say keep a daily list. This is not everything I need to do.
It's a weekly list, but then each day maybe pick your top 3 holiday tasks you need to get done, because that will create more realistic goals and you'll feel a sense of control and a sense of accomplishment.
So here we are kind of in early December. We should be shopping now, right? Because the earlier you do it, the less stress there'll be.
Yes, I would say shop early and shop online if possible. There are so many retailers, even though Black Friday and Cyber Monday are behind us, there's so many great holiday deals going on right now. Lots of people are offering things like free shipping, discounts. I just launched an online boutique as well, and I'm offering those types of things for my new activewear line. So it's a great time for you to sit in front of the fireplace with a hot cup of cocoa, a blanket, and just do all your shopping online.
Exactly, because when it all's said and done, if you wake up Christmas morning and you're still stressed out, it's about sitting in front of the tree and going, wow, I'm really thankful for this. With that in mind, what about parties? You get invited to this party, that luncheon, friends want to get together. How do you get all that done and you're shopping and get to drink the cocoa?
That's right. You know, it's exciting when you get all these great holiday invitations, but it can be overwhelming as well. So I would suggest getting them in your calendar right away so that you and your family can plan on where you need to be when. But then also, don't be afraid to decline some of those invitations, right? Pick the ones that are most meaningful to you, maybe your work holiday party, your close friends, your family. If it's an acquaintance or it poses a logistical challenge, maybe those are ones you could graciously decline so you're not so stressed out.
I think a lot of people have a hard time saying no, especially to family. But I've tried to think of it as I'm preserving my happiness, my mental health. I mean, taking time out for yourself is not or should not be a bad thing.
Exactly. Self-care is probably one of the things that goes out the window
window during this time of year because we're so busy all the time. But if you don't take that time to rest, relax, exercise, so you can ward off things like holiday weight gain, eat in moderation, those are all things you can be doing just to make sure that the holidays don't get the best of you. And to your point, you're feeling mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy.
And that's why sometimes I wonder, we're supposed to be happy, but we're kind of blowing the gift thing out of proportion. Maybe if, like you kind of alluded to that, Frank, if we kind of put it in perspective, it's like, this is supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
It's not the gift that counts, it's the thought, right?
Exactly. I think we get so focused on the material sides of the holiday and the gifts and the shopping and the to-do list, but at the end of the day, we all know the holidays are a time to make memories with our loved ones. It's a time to give back. It's a time to be empathetic because this time of year may not be easy for people depending on what they have going on in their life. And I think the more that we can be grateful and thankful for what we do have, it's just going to make the holidays that much more special and less stressful.
So the bigger picture is what you got to focus on.
Yeah.
I got an issue with Christmas cards because
Yes.
every year now with Facebook and social media, you know what your friends and family are doing. Every year I say I'm not going to send them out, and then I get 2 dozen. On December 15th, I go, oh, I got to send that one back.
He's guilted into it.
Love that guy. And then before you know it, I'm writing 50 Christmas cards, and this year I kind of don't want to do it.
I know.
Help
It's
me.
tough.
But if
Okay.
you're going to do it anyway, maybe you should just do it, get it over with.
All right, Dr. Sal,
True.
he's probably right.
He probably is. Some people do come to expect getting those, physical holiday cards in the mail. You could do an online version for those that are online. Maybe you send a mass email with a photo of your family with some personal notes in there. Or another idea is maybe you do a Happy New Year card. So you wait until the holiday season is behind you and then you do your
I have some friends that do Valentine's cards.
Oh,
They just
yeah.
send it out because you're not expecting a card, and all of a sudden you get one card, in February, and go, how nice of them to send that. So
It's true.
that's a good
another
thought.
idea.
Well, Rita Bocone at Passion Fit, it's so good to see you. Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Happy
Frank's card
holidays.
will be in the mail.
That's right.
Give
I'm
it to
expecting my
What
card.
was that address again?
Thank you for having me.
Coming up in a moment on Mornings on to the 9, more holiday talk. It's the Heroes and Helpers holiday shopping spree that's just getting underway in San Jose. Coming up, we'll take you live to the 11th annual Shop with a Cop event. How some children had to earn their way into this event.
And a financial boost for Bay Area teachers up next. Meet one East Palo Alto educator who just surprised with a $25,000 grant to help purchase a home.
They're big. Strength, we can count on. Same with Aladdin, the biggest in bail. No one has lower prices, is faster, or more professional. Aladdin Bail Bonds. Bigger because we're better.
Utah lives on mountain time. With 10 resorts less than an hour from the airport, mountain time means more time on the mountain. It means more time to take a soak instead of just a dip. Get more mountain time in Utah.
Turn the kitchen you have into the kitchen you love. The American Kitchen Company is your leading expert in residential remodel. From custom kitchens to beautiful bathrooms, our team will listen to your needs and transform your home. Visit AmericanKitchenCompany.com.
Mommy! Some people, one day, it was take your kid to work day. My dad's a research analyst. You fill in the blanks. I had to build a diorama of the Jurassic period. I got cast as a fence in the school play. How are your lunch negotiations going? My parents are lowballing me. Thanks, Carla. Well, gotta run. I got scout straight into Taekwondo. So fun today. Later.
Milk, because being a kid is tough.
From the red and gold to the silver and black, Mark Cabañas and Joe Fonzie bring you all the biggest moments and the biggest names in Bay Area sports. Mercedes-Benz Sports Weekend, Sunday morning at 8:30 on KTVU Fox 2. You work hard for every dollar. So we don't want you to pay 1 cent more than you need to for health care. At Covered California, you can get health insurance at a lower cost. In fact, enrollees pay an average of $5 per day. See how little it costs to get covered. Visit coveredca.com today.
Could your loved one be living a secret life?
Mostly cloudy day today in the Bay Area, and looks like it may rain a little later, but right now, it's a cloudy look at the Gold Golden Gate Bridge and the Moray Headlands here. Welcome back to Mornings on 2 to 9, along with Frank and Dacia. I am Sal. We're going to toss it over to Mark Tamayo, who's going to give us a little more on today's weather. Mark?
Hi there, guys. Yeah, more clouds filling into the Bay Area. And eventually, we could be dodging a few raindrops as the main system is still approaching our coastline. This will not be a big deal, not like last week's system, but still enough to impact our weather for today. The clouds and some scattered rain showers. You may encounter a few sprinkles this morning, but the bulk of the lower levels, the atmosphere is so dry that most of the rainfall really not reaching the ground just yet. So here's a closer look. We just have a solid blanket of overcast and a little bit of some green showing up on the radar, but still nothing too major as far as most areas right now. Just mostly cloudy skies. And temperatures, we'll check in on those. Right now we have Fairfield 48 degrees, Napa 54, San Francisco 51. So most areas recovering into the upper 40s to the lower 50s at last check. Here is our live camera looking out toward SFO this Tuesday morning. We have mostly cloudy skies here, but notice no fog to speak of. So fog, not too much of a factor at all because the lower levels, the atmosphere is so dry. So next system coming on board, knocking on our door. Rainfall between now and right on through Wednesday. Most areas about 0.2 of an inch to about 0.75 of an inch. Winds this week for the highest elevations, probably trimming down to around 20 to 30 miles an hour. No wind advisories. And the Sierra picks up some snowfall. Could be on the order of 3 to 6 inches, so not a major deal. Here's a look at the forecast model showing you this. As we put this into motion, you'll see Southern California actually picking up some rainfall with this guy as that area of low pressure kind of drifts to the south. Here's a closer look at the Bay Area forecast, and here we are at noon, showing you the clouds and a few scattered rain showers developing. This is 3 o'clock this afternoon. Notice not everybody covered. We can still have mostly cloudy skies and dry conditions, and the bulk of the action will be focused near the coast and up in portions of the North Bay. And then early tomorrow morning, we could be talking about some rainfall. This is early Wednesday morning, around 2 a.m. to around 5 a.m. So the early portion of the commute, the very early portion of the commute, we could have some scattered rain. And we're going to hold on to still some scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm developing closer to Santa Cruz County. So it's not a complete Bay Area washout, but still some scattered rain showers in your Wednesday forecast. Highs this afternoon on the cooler side, mainly in the 50s with winds. Most areas, as I mentioned, around 10 to 20 miles an hour. And here is a look ahead, your 5-day forecast. Off and on showers into Wednesday, and then it looks like, guys, a drying trend as we head toward the weekend, Thursday, Friday, and to Saturday. So if you were making plans, if that snow is tempting in the mountains, the weather looks pretty good as we head toward the weekend.
Mark, thank you. And as it is getting downright cold, we do hope you can help us help Bay Area families bundle up this winter by participating in the annual One Warm Coat Drive. We ask you to donate new or gently used coats for people in need. KTV, once again, a proud sponsor of One Warm Coat. It's now in its 16th year. The national nonprofit collects tens of thousands of coats every year. The One Warm Coat Drive is happening right now, and it continues until December 31st. We have drop-off locations in Emeryville, Walnut Creek, San Jose, and Oakland, as well as participating UPS and Big O Tire stores. On KTV.com, you'll find a full list of drop-off locations.
For more on some of the other headlines that we have been working on, let's go to Dave Clark.
Sal, thank you. Here are some of the top stories we're following. Police in San Rafael investigating a deadly shooting in the Canal area. It happened about 6 o'clock last night near Pickleweed Park on Canal Street. The body of an unidentified young adult man was found in his car. Witnesses say they saw a man running from the shooting scene. The police are investigating this as a homicide. Well, today, homeowners in San Francisco's Millennium Tower building will take a big step that they hope will keep their 58-story building from leaning and sinking. The Millennium Tower Association will submit a permit application for permission to use 52 steel and concrete structures to shift some of the weight of the building from its foundation to the bedrock. Now, it would cost $100 million. It would take 18 months to complete. The Millennium Tower building is leaning 14 inches. Since it opened 9 years ago, it has sunk by 18 inches. Today, the casket of President George H.W. Bush is still in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol, where the public is paying respects. The flag-draped casket will lie in state until tomorrow's funeral at the National Cathedral. Meanwhile, back in Houston, a tribute concert was held to pay respect to the life and legacy of President Bush. The mayor of Houston talked about his leadership and who he was as a person.
My party, when I served in the legislature, was not his party. And yet, he extended a warm hand of friendship to me and I will forever be grateful for his advice and his grace.
President Bush's casket will be flown from Washington, D.C. back to Houston tomorrow after that funeral service at the National Cathedral. Thursday, there'll be a private funeral in Houston, and then President Bush will be buried at his presidential library in College Station, Texas, next to his wife and his daughter. Now, President Trump ordered flags to fly at half-staff on all federal buildings for the next 30 days to honor President Bush. And tomorrow, Wednesday, has been declared a National Day of Mourning. The federal government will be closed. That includes the Postal Service. Financial markets in New York will also be closed. And that's a look at just some of the top stories we're working on.
Dave, thank you. Just ahead of the College Football Playoff National Championship at Levi Stadium, January 7th, some Bay Area teachers are getting life-changing surprises. Last week, that included East Palo Alto Charter School teacher Stephanie Hardiner.
We're going to give you $25,000 to help you buy a new house and stay teaching here at the school.
The College Football Playoff Foundation, the Bay Area Host Committee, and Landon have all teamed up for the Extra Yard for Teachers Summit. This year, the campaign is going to ultimately provide $1 million to support Bay Area educators. That includes giving away $25,000 to put toward a down payment for a home. 2 additional grants will be awarded between right now and game day. This morning, KTV's Jesse Gary live with Stephanie to talk more about this gift. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Garcia and Stephanie. Good morning to you. Congratulations. And you're with Silas, your 16-month-old son, and what a good baby.
He is. He's doing pretty well.
And we should explain that he is really the impetus for the decision to move from apartment living into a home because you needed more room.
Yeah, we're living in Redwood City now after having lived in East Palo Alto, and we've been renting, my husband Scott and I, since we got married about 8 years ago, and we couldn't be more excited to be buying our first home together now.
Let's talk about that because you just got surprised. We saw the video of you getting surprised with the check, and we'll probably take a look at it again. Tell me what that moment was like.
Oh my goodness, it's been a huge blessing for us. We were just shocked. We couldn't believe it. To be chosen like that just on a Wednesday morning. I thought I was just going to get my kids and do our normal 5th grade thing, and there we were.
And now you have that's a $25,000 grant to use as a down payment for a home. Since you've gotten that, how have things progressed?
It seems like that happened a while ago. It was last Thursday, and since then we've been to several open houses. We've connected with a realtor. We're in the middle of pre-approval, so it's been a whirlwind of the last few days, but we couldn't be more thankful.
That's not even in a week.
Right.
Wow, that's a lot. You want to chime in? Okay, he's the quiet shy type.
Next time.
Next time. When do you hope to make the purchase?
Well, with the holidays coming up, whenever we find something that feels right, soon, within the next few months here. But we feel really fortunate that we have some different options that we're looking at.
And you're a 5th grade teacher here at East Palo Alto Charter School. Yeah. How have your students reacted to this?
Oh my goodness, they were so surprised and excited. They've been really sweet. Even outside my class, kids from across the school have been saying, "Oh, Miss Hardinger, congratulations." The next day, a bunch of them said, "Did you buy your house yet?"
So yeah, it takes a little bit of a process.
Yeah, it does.
All right, well, congratulations. And we should note that you are the first of 3 in the Bay Area who will receive the $25,000 grant. So congratulations to you. Silas, have a great Christmas. Say Santa.
Yeah.
The audience can't see Mr. Dave. Trust me, Mr. Dave looks just like Santa. All right. Congratulations again.
Thank you so
and
much.
2 more very fortunate teachers in the Bay Area will also receive $25,000 grants for a down payment on a home. That to come. We're live in East Palo Alto this morning. Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News. We'll head back to you.
Perfect, Jesse, thank you. Let's talk more about this giveaway. Happy to be joined this morning by Sharon Lyle with the Extra Yard for Teachers Summit. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
$25,000 is a huge amount it is a life-changing amount of money. You're still looking for more teachers to gift.
We are. This was the first of several giveaways to teachers between now and the College Football Playoff National Championship game in early January.
And how do teachers apply?
Sure. They can go online to the cfp-foundation.org website for more information about the Landed and Bay Area 2019 Host Committee and College Football Playoff Foundation partnership.
So how does it work? It's not considered considered a loan exactly?
The details are all on the website, but this is a grant to help with the down payment for a new home.
Okay, and essentially it breaks down to if your home gains in value, you gain some of that value. If your home loses in value, you lose some of that investment as well.
I think so.
So let's talk. You have a little boy, a child in preschool. I have little boys in 3rd and 4th grade. So many of their teachers are still living at home with their parents.
Yes.
Living with roommates.
Yes.
They've gone to school. They pour their hearts out to our children in the classroom every single day.
Right.
A lot of people think it is shameful the way teachers are underappreciated and frankly underpaid in the Bay Area.
Right. So as the College Football Playoff Foundation moves from community to community, they do a tremendous amount of work looking at the needs of that community. And in the Bay Area, housing costs were such an important part of that story. And that's why they developed the partnership with Landon to make this possible for the teachers in this area. It's so important for teachers to be able to live where they work.
And let's talk more about this big game that's coming in January. What else can teachers and really everyone look forward to?
Sure. The banner program is the Extra Yard for Teachers. And under that umbrella, there are a number of events that teachers across the Bay Area can participate in without a ticket to the game. So there is a 5K run on Sunday, January the 6th, the Extra Yard 5K. There's the Eckridge Taste of the Championship, which is a food and wine event on Sunday evening the 6th at the Tech. And the Extra Yard for Teachers Summit, a free event for all teachers from the Bay Area to come be pampered, have some learning opportunities, find a place for teachers to congregate and celebrate being together.
What do you hope to achieve through this event?
A celebration of all K-12 teachers in the Bay Area and a chance to really lift up their stories in the midst of the celebration of football and collegiate athletics.
I think it really says something when you ask people of my age, who made a difference in your life? I go straight back to Mrs. Clark, my 1st grade teacher at Joe Mitchell Elementary. We remember them like it was yesterday.
Yes, absolutely. And it's great to have a platform where they can share their stories too and celebrate the teachers who've influenced them as well as the students that they're teaching right now.
Okay, well, to Mrs. Shufta and Ms. Sanders, who are currently my boys' teachers right now, thank you to you and to all the teachers out there. We have all the information you could want about entering this giveaway on KTVU.com. You'll find it in the web link section under the Mornings on 2 tab. It is also on our mobile app. Sharon Lyle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sal?
All right, Kasia, thank you very much. Coming up on Mornings on 2 to 9, the hit Broadway musical A Bronx Tale is now playing in San Francisco. Up next, we are live with 2 of the show's stars.
Mutants are saying the only option is war.
Every mutant in this country. That's what we're fighting for.
The Gifted, tonight at 8 on Fox 2.
Hurry into the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. This holiday, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX. Hurry, this event won't last.
Am I saying it well?
Maybe you're making Mary. Or maybe you're making Coco. Maybe you're with the family you've got. Or maybe the one you've chosen. Maybe there's light. There's definitely light. Maybe there's one less this year. Or maybe one more. Our holidays don't all look the same. And maybe that's what makes us great. Make the dream yours. IKEA.
Everyone wants a healthy white smile, but the fact is, just brushing your teeth is not enough. Now there's a better solution. This is the revolutionary Vhbf Water Flosser. It removes up to 99.9% of plaque from treated areas and is up to 50% more effective than string flossing. Brushing, even with an electric toothbrush, only gets the surface. But the Vhbf Water Flosser cleans the areas brushing misses. To learn more, ask your dental professional about Vhbf.
Hurry into the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. This holiday, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX. Hurry, this event won't last.
Round table pizza?
King Arthur's Supreme and garlic parmesan twists.
Roundtable gets a lot of respect because we show our pizza a lot of respect. Made with only premium ingredients, topped right to the edge. Text pizza to 86677 for exclusive offers like free pizza and wings. Message and data rates
Prime Video.
Christmas is coming early for more than 100 kids from San Jose. They're on a holiday shopping spree with the 11th annual Shop with a Cop Heroes and Helpers event. KTVU's Sarah Zendenon joins us live in San Jose.
Yeah, we're at Target right now. We're waiting for that bus full of kids to get here, but you can take a look and just see how many police officers here already just waiting for the kids to show up. We've already seen some special guest appearances. Sourdough Sam, the San Francisco 49ers mascot, was out here hanging out, taking some pictures with these officers. We just heard them say they might be singing Christmas carols as the kids arrive, so that's going to be really, really fun. Now, all the kids get $150 gift cards for Target here to shop for themselves and their families. They all get paired with an officer from different agencies and spend hours going through the store. One officer we talked to says sometimes the officers give money from their own wallets to take the shopping spree just a little bit further. Of the more than 150 kids expected here today, we're told 15 of them are suffering from traumatic situations in their lives, including cancer survivors and homicide victims' families. So this event really gives them a couple of hours of just feeling like kids again. The goal is to give underserved children a chance to buy holiday gifts and to build stronger relationships between themselves and police. This is a really fun day. Now, of course, we talked to a 9-year-old boy. He says that his whole list is all planned out, and he couldn't even sleep last night because he was so excited.
I was up until 2 a.m. and I woke up my mom and told her what time is it. She said, it's 2 a.m. So I went back to sleep, but I couldn't. And I went back to sleep for reals. And I woke up at 6:19 and I'm like, Mom, wake up, it's time to go.
He's just so excited. That sounds like a kid on Christmas morning, right? And this is really what this is for these kids. They get to come here, they get to buy gifts, and like I said, Caesar has his whole list planned out. So we're hoping to meet up with him here in this line once that bus arrives, which should be any minute now. Now, of course, Shop with a Cop, this event is really put together by donation. So if you're interested in donating, go to shopwithacopsv.org. In San Jose, Sarah Zendenon, KTVU Fox 2 News.
All right, so Sarah, thank you very much. Bronx Tale tells the story of a young man in the 1960s caught between the father he loves and the mob boss he hopes to be.
It's 3 a.m. in the Bronx, New York. I'm on the corner of 187th and Belmont Avenue. This was my neighborhood. This is a Bronx Tale.
I love it. The show is now playing at the SHN Golden Gate Theater in San Francisco through December 23rd. Joe Barbara plays Sonny the mob boss, and Joey, plays the conflicted son, Caligaro. They both joined me live this morning. It's only fitting that a guy named Sal is doing this interview.
Sally!
Come on now. All right.
Sal, we got a role for you in the show.
Oh, thank you. I love the show. I love the movie. So tell me, fellas, what it's going to be like to actually see a musical based on the same Chaz Palminteri story.
It's fantastic. Do you want to take this one?
No, I'm good.
All right. You know what? It's great. There have been classic movies made into Broadway musicals that I don't think necessarily worked all that well.
Right.
This is the complete except. This works so well because they took a great story and they wrote. And Alan Menken is like one of the greatest composers of
people
our
know him.
generation.
Yes, of course.
He wrote Beauty and the Beast. He wrote Aladdin. He wrote Little Shop of Horrors. He wrote The Little Mermaid. I mean, everything that you know from Disney and musical theater. A lot of musical theater stuff comes from Alan Menken. So he wrote some amazing music. Glenn Slater wrote great lyrics. And they just put the songs in the right places. So this is, if you love the movie, you'll love the musical.
No, that movie was a minute ago, 93. Joey, 2 minutes.
So 3 years old.
Right. All right. So did you see the movie before you were ever involved? In this production, did you see the movie?
Yeah, I did see the movie. But I saw the movie out of context. I mean, I saw the movie when I was a kid,
right,
a long time ago, and so I had no idea
that one day you would be playing. Yeah, right.
It's pretty dope. Yeah.
And so, what do you think about the conflict? That your character obviously has a huge conflict on his hands.
Right.
How do you go into playing that role?
Well, it's hard because I have two very charming and annoying men that I have to deal with every day. This guy and Richard Blake, who plays my father.
I'm the charming one. He's the annoying.
Right. Okay.
Let him think that. No, it's the conflict in the story is it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to a lot of people who have watched the movie and have grown up. I mean, this Sonny is the ultimate like man's man, and then it's interesting to watch their dynamic when they're on stage together and to deal with each of them in different ways. You know, with Lorenzo, my father, I have to deal with him in a way that is uncomfortable because it's, you know, confronting a man who ultimately has dominated my life. And then this man, it's fun until it's not.
Right.
So yeah, it's cool.
Joe, you grew up probably, you watched a lot of the mob films, you probably loved The Godfather,
Sure.
I'll be thinking.
Sure.
So when you play this role, it must be really, I mean, special for you to play one of these guys that you grew up watching. Are you Italian?
I am.
All right.
Yeah. It's a fantastic opportunity because Sonny is such a complex character. You know, he's a murderer. I mean, he's not a great guy,
Right.
but he has some great qualities. And there are things, you know, missing in his life that he truly loves this kid. And, you know, when you have somebody that you can play, you don't get the opportunity, especially in musical theater, necessarily to play complex characters like that. But it's just fun. It's just so much fun. I mean, because he loves this kid, and yet he's a tough guy.
Well, this question's for either of you. For those of us who saw the film and we loved it, you know, I'm saying, oh, why I love the film. What can this production bring to something that I haven't seen? Is that the singing and dancing?
Singing and dancing, but you know what this is? This is a musical for guys that aren't necessarily musical theater fans.
Okay.
This is a musical that, you know, women love. Well, but I don't want to paint it.
No, but I mean, I can bring my wife to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
You absolutely. More than that.
It's not like some mob film that, you know, she's like, I don't want to watch a 10 millionth
Your
mob
wife
film.
is going to love it because it's music. It's traditional musical theater.
Right.
It's traditional. If you like Guys and Dolls, if you like, you know, shows like, you're going to love A Bronx Tale. And yet it brings some of the edge of the film, and its characters are the ones that men relate to.
Mm.
So, you know, lots of times, like, wives will say, come to the theater with me, and they want to go see Carousel or, you know,
Right.
Sound of Music, and guys are like, oh, please.
Right.
You know, this is the musical where
Something
wives
for
are going to say,
everybody.
come to the theater, and the guys should go, yeah, let's go see A Bronx Tale.
Right.
You know?
Good. Yeah, that sounds right up my alley. Now, the last thing I'm going to ask you is, I love the 60s. You guys stay in the 60s theme, you know, have to wear like the thin ties and that kind of stuff?
We wear ties.
You know how the 60s were really sharp?
Yeah,
You guys get...
Well, yeah, anytime you have a mob boss from New York, I mean, he's probably going to dress pretty sharp.
Right.
You know, so no question about that. But the music is fantastic, and they've just done an amazing job translating the film to a musical.
Sold. I want to go see it.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys. Yes, for myself. We put more ticket information on ktvu.com. Look for it under the web link section under the Mornings on 2 tab. You can also find it on our mobile app, fellas. Thank you for coming in. From Sal to the two of yous.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of Mornings on 2 right after this.
Tuesday, you are hereby summoned to a new Judge Wendy. Order! This court is back in session.
Today at 10 on KTVU Fox 2.
California Phones offers free specialized phones like cordless phones, big button and volume enhanced phones. Get details on this state program. Call 1-800-330-5100 or visit californiaphones.org.
Alcohol dependency almost took my job and my family.
Mountain Vista Farm's secluded 8-acre retreat is the perfect setting to begin your recovery. Here, you'll find a relaxed, informal setting blended with a highly structured program of education, relapse prevention training, and support groups.
Mountain Vista Farm gave me back my life.
If you or someone you love needs help, call Mountain Vista Farm at 1-800-300-6716 today.
Before you go online looking at ads for your next vehicle, take a moment and come and visit Wheels and Deals and browse from over 300 privately owned vehicles. Private parties bring us new cars every day, so you'll never know what you're going to find. Come check us out at the El Camino in Santa Clara under the huge American flag. Wheels and Deals, a fun way to buy or sell any vehicle. 408-246-1000. Wheels and Deals, good deal better for you.
Why settle for fake furniture? Shop Hoot Judkins for solid wood furniture that's made to order. Start with our huge selection of solid wood bedroom sets, living room sets, bookcases, and more. Then choose your size, style, color, wood. The combinations are nearly endless. You can even get custom upholstery. See what's on sale now at WhoJudkins.com or stop by Who Judkins, the wise choice for real wood furniture.
Now California Phones offers free devices and accessories for your mobile phone, like this device to increase volume on your cell phone. Get details on this state program. Call 1-800-330-5100 or visit californiaphones.org.
On the next get me out of here!
He started it.
Tonight at 9 on KTVU Fox 2.
UC Berkeley students cramming for finals next week. They're getting an opportunity to de-stress with some animal therapy. The Student Body Association organized this event yesterday called Llama-Palooza. Students were offered a chance to guide the animals through an obstacle course, groom them, feed them. Organizers say students find calm and perspective when they connect with the animals. This is the 4th year the campus has hosted the Llama-Palooza event. When I was there, they had no such thing.
I was going to say, where were they in the 80s?
When we were there for us, Frank.
Proud little Cal people. How about some hoops? The Warriors finally got a roll on last night. Steph Curry led the way.
Steph Curry, after that ball deflected, it's a 2-on-1. JB the lob, and Durant hammering it home.
Yeah, welcome back, Steph. Last night, Atlanta, Golden State dominated the Hawks the entire night. The team had a 17-point lead. After the first quarter, they cruised to a 128-111 win. Next up, a trip to Cleveland, take on the Cavaliers tomorrow night.
Department stores across New York City are getting into the holiday spirit. Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Saks Avenue. Some of the companies going all out with their holiday displays. Macy's has created a Believe in the Wonder of Giving display. Barney's is also urging people to give back this season. The lights and animated characters are big draws for thousands of people who make a point of seeing the windows. They're considered one of the many beloved holiday traditions around New York City.
Happening today, some Santa's elves will be busy at the post office. Volunteers at the main post office in Oakland will begin going through and responding to some of the thousands of letters addressed to Santa Claus at the North Pole. They've been handpicked by Santa himself. Letters come from children all over the Bay Area.
A 9-year-old Colorado boy looking for a fight took on City Hall and won. Dane Best lives in the town of Severance, and the town banned snowball fights nearly a century ago. For years, city leaders told the children, if you don't like the law, you should change it. No one ever did until Dane did last night, and the law was overturned. Dane told the city council he already knows his first target. That will be his 4-year-old brother.
Oh my God. Easy. The 4-year-old can throw it back.
Yeah.
Careful what you wish for.
That's right. Wait till he's 16.
Right? Good little Christmas movie in the making there,
Yeah,
too.
there you go. Thanks so much for joining us. Nice having you in for Mike today.
Yeah, nice to be on board. Mike will be back tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it again at noon. Thanks for joining us. Our news continues right now on KTVU.com.
If you've been injured in an accident, choosing the right law firm is critical. Choose a law firm with the experience and success
To help you get the best result possible. Injured? Call the Barnes firm now.
Going to the dentist. Have you seen my wallet?
If you think it's scary going to the dentist, just think how your wallet feels. Because if you don't have dental insurance, paying the bill can be really expensive. Just a simple cleaning can cost over $150. And things like root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But now you can get dental insurance for about $1 a day from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. Call us for a free information kit. We help cover over 350 procedures, everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no deductibles and there's no annual maximum. Plus, you can see any dentist. So help protect your teeth and your wallet. Call us now for your free information kit with all the details.
The holiday season is upon us once again, and as soon as you get through paying that peak summer electric bill, now the holiday lights go up and we're right back to paying huge utility bills. Well, why not let Solar for America give you a holiday hiatus from your expenses by paying your electric bill for the next 6 months? That's right, Solar for America will pay your electric bill up to $1,000 when you go solar. system and receive an additional discount of up to $1,500 off. Save all that money and with your good credit, take advantage of exceptional same-as-cash financing so you don't have to make a payment until 2020. Go ahead, put up the extra lights on that house because with a new solar system from Solar for America, you'll never see a high electric bill again. Just call 888-857-8086. That's 888-857-8086. Or solar4america.com. 888-857-8086.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you probably have some questions. Will I receive compensation? Do I need a lawyer? Call 1-800-800-0000. Injured? Call the Barnes firm now.
You're hearing the Real Headline Bling is feeling extra generous. And we're sitting down with Empire's Tisha Campbell.
Today at 11 on KTVU Fox 2.
Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show.
I'm doing okay. Let's get started. It's time for... Yes, come on. So last night was a big night on Broadway. The Cher show debuted, and it was a runaway success, according to most people. Cher is 72 years old. Remember, we were telling you, I believe, last week that she was complaining that she wanted the set changed, she wanted the cast changed, she wanted the makeup changed, she wanted the wigs changed, she wanted everything changed. She was done. Well, I guess she liked it enough because at 72, she gave a surprise performance at the end when she came back to turn back time. Yeah, she looks good. There were three different Chers that played her during three different incarnations of her life. You know what I mean? I think that this is worth a checkout. Whether Cher shows up at the end or not, it's still worth a checkout. You know? And so the Sunny character actor, he got annoyed because he saw Kanye tweeting, or on his device, while Kim was paying attention, but Kanye was busy looking down. And so he goes something like, if you just put down your cell phone, you see we're doing a show up here. And Kanye said something to the effect of, pardon me, and my lack of etiquette. Well, you know what? Not for nothing. There are two schools of thought. First, well, yes. I'm sure the Cher show was a solid 2 hours. Yeah, that's a lot of lifetime. You can't just make that like a 1 hour play, which would be perfect timing for me. You have to make it 2 hours. It's a life of a Cher. Kanye is constantly creating. Kanye probably does not have a long attention span, like a lot of us, like me. And, you're in the middle of a row. You can't get up. You can't walk out. You can't, you can't fidget. You can't use your device. It would drive me, I love Broadway. I love in my mind, I love Broadway. But 2 hours sitting someplace where I'm trapped, like even a movie. I walk out of movies, even movies that I find really good. It's just like, okay, I've had enough. I'm sitting here so long. Ow. Or, oh. I don't know. But he said that he and Kim held hands during I Got You, Babe. This is what he told this guy. And, Kim loves Cher, and so good for them. Clap if you're with me though. Do you have a short attention span? Yeah, exactly. And I think the difference between like Broadway versus, doing television, like we're a 1 hour show, but at least you can get up and move around your house and get on your device during commercial breaks while you pay attention to commercials. You're still on your device and you can make your coffee, or you can do stuff. If you got a fancy TV, you can pause us. So anyway, it's a whole lot different. Thank God for TV. So Beyonce's fans are furious with her. What I do now? Well, over the weekend, Beyonce and Jay-Z performed at the Global Citizens Festival in South Africa. Now, the fans thought that they could watch the 2-hour performance online because Beyonce and Jay-Z weren't the only ones there. There were tons of acts there, but they were probably the biggest. The biggest. So they streamed the entire show, but when they get to Beyonce and Jay-Z's part, they stream only 25 minutes and then it cuts off. And then it picks back up at the next person and continues on. So what do you make of that? What do you make of it? Anything I say about Beyonce, everybody always tells me either I'm jealous of her or I hate her. I'm not jealous of her and I don't hate her. So, here's what I think. I think that this was done by the Global Citizens people, which is a bigger situation than Jay-Z and Beyonce. These artists are supposedly performing free. The money's all going to charity. The Nelson Mandela, it was to celebrate his birthday, which even though it wasn't this past weekend, it's July 18th, the same birthday as me. This past July was his 100th birthday, and so I feel like they could have probably together, or at least she, might have had enough power to insist that they stream the whole show. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. And what are you getting out of this? Like, what do you want people to do now? Go online, Jay-Z and Beyonce, and pay for the rest of it? Put it on Tidal? Where they're going to pay? Norman said he'd pay $30 for it.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Happy Easter. No, but okay, so they can make some money off this. But my thought is that this was not probably the Spotify or the Global Citizens people's thing. This is probably Jay-Z and Beyonce's people saying, look, cut it, let's make some money. Here's how they impressed me, honest to goodness. Hundreds of millions of dollars. These people, the two of them together, they impressed me as the types of people who don't leave a penny on the floor. Even with all the riches, they will cheeseball you out with the cheesiest mess. Like, give this to your fans for free. Like, give it to them. I mean, don't you have enough? It's the holiday seasons, for goodness sakes. Give it to them for free and apologize for that. And by the way, happy birthday, Jay-Z. He's 49. Okay, so I've got my next destination planned for vacation. It is a must, and it's so unlikely that you would ever guess it. I'm going to Greece. No. I love Greek food. I love Greek women. And I love the Greek men. But most of all, Lindsay Lohan's got this new reality show. It premieres in January. And when I get to Greece, I'm staying at the Lohan Beach House. Yeah. Whoa, family vote, yeah. The show is following Lindsay as she runs her Lohan Beach House Club in Mykonos. Take a look.
I've gone through so much in my past. People always have given me trouble for going to clubs, so why don't I just open my own? Boss bitch.
It's Lindsay's club.
Welcome to my house. To work for me, you have to be the best of the best.
Lindsay's way.
I want to build an empire here. Did you miss me?
So, the premise of the show is she's like Lisa Vanderpump. You know, she's the boss. She's hiring people, firing people, checking up on them, seeing who's doing drugs, seeing who's breaking the laws around there. It's going to be a riot. I think she can do this. And I don't just want to go to Greece. I want to, Lindsay, I want to stay at your place. As a matter of fact, show, I would love to bring show cameras. Yep. Not to do a full show there, but definitely, you know, a piece. Like, let's do a piece. Lynn's, by the way, will be here after the first of the year. Promote the show. It starts on MTV in like January or something like that. So I'll be watching. You'll be watching. I'll be watching. Yeah. Clap if you don't care. Most people don't care. All right. You're elderly. Lindsay, by the way, this is her on the cover of Paper Magazine with her pendulous breasts. I think she looks terrific. And look inside. Yeah. I think she looks great. I love what this magazine does to people. Well, she says she's sick and tired of getting bad press. There was nothing really in it that we already don't know about Lindsay, but she did speak about that human trafficking incident that we told you about the other week, and we showed you the footage. If you don't remember, take a look. Listen closely.
They're trafficking children. Shut up! I won't leave until I take you. You're ruining agriculture by doing this. Shut up! The whole world is seeing this right now. Shut up!
So Lindsay says in the magazine that she read the situation wrong and she learned from it. I don't know what was up that night. All I'm saying is I like Lindsay Lohan and I will be watching her show. And Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club premieres January 8th, actually, on MTV. I'm there. You there? I'm there. So, can't go there without talking about Cardi B, I guess. Well, the judge is threatening to arrest Cardi if she doesn't show up in court on Friday. Now, apparently, she was a show in court yesterday over allegations that she had two strippers beat up because she thought that they were sleeping with Offset. Okay. The strippers are friends. Their names are Jade and Baddie G. Oh, sisters. Jade and Baddie G. Okay. Cardi's lawyer went to the court and reportedly said that she had a prior commitment. She was too busy for court. In the meantime, here's her prior commitment. She was, yeah. She was in Miami filming a music video, and that was her prior commitment. Well, you know what? Okay, music videos, they cost a lot to put together. Maybe it was all set. She should have shown up anyway. It just so happens that this is also the week of the world's famous Art Basel, so she's got a whole lot going on down there. Every celebrity wants to be there, Cardi, so why not stay until Thursday at 11:59? But you better be in court on Friday. Now, the strippers in question look like this. They were in the Nicki Minaj video. See, Nicki does petty stuff like this, which I still think she's too big to even do it. The blondes, there they are. Are they lovers with each other?
No, they're sisters.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not. This is a daytime show.
Have you ever seen something?
No. I mean.
Oh, okay.
It's not my lane.
Okay. Sorry. How you doing? Well, here's the thing with the law and taxes and anything dealing with the cops or anything. I would go out of my way to settle everything. That's me personally. I don't like to mess around. I would tell the entire production, no, we will shut this down. I gotta be in court. I gotta settle this. And then we will start the music video. We'll film at night. I'll be here at 9 o'clock tonight. And we'll film at night. You know? And then catch the sun in the morning. And catch it in the morning. I just don't like messing around with the law. Because you just never know when they're going to roll up on you. Like, you don't even know you have warrants. And all you were doing was going to get a Gatorade. You're walking out of the corner store and they're walking up on you. What? A warrant? So, Ozzy Osbourne, it's not about him. It's more about what he's been through. And it could be any one of us. Ozzy Osbourne almost died. Well, several times in life. But particularly recently, after getting a manicure. Oh, pull up to the bumper. Come on now. Come on. He got an infection in his thumb and needed to go to the emergency room. Then he had to have emergency surgery. The doctor said he could have died if the infection spread to his blood. Now, here's my thought. This could happen to any one of you all because I don't, but you all spend a whole lot of time, men and women these days, in the manicure. And even when you say you're bringing your own stuff, they're still using, I mean, there's just something real germy about it. I don't like it. That's why I do my own. Not even bringing your own, but you should bring your own tools. But I don't even trust that. Not to say that they're doing anything with the tools, but just to say it's a dirty place. You know? And don't trust that blue light water. And you know when you put your hands in that thing, you know that's the cancer. In my head, who needs blue lights and stuff heating up on you? No. So I do my own nails. I always tell you my own fingernails all the time. Ever since we got this show, it's just because I used to be a nail girl, but once we got this show, it just became too much. So I do them on my own all the time. I can't do my own pedicure though. So I go quickly. I'm in there for like 5 minutes for clip my toenails because you know you can't clip them real good from the side. You know, if you want a good clipation, you gotta stretch out and have to do it. And might I suggest you bring your own moisturizer as opposed to them using their moisturizer on you, just in case. And also one more thing, a little trick that I've learned, even for the twice a year that I might go for a proper manicure, I always get a dry one. I don't want your water, give it to me dry. And the same thing with the dry pedicure. Dry pedicure, no water involved. Nope. Look, in the name of Ozzy Osbourne. All right, everybody, a little louder. Oh, never mind. A little softer. Page gave birth to his 10th child. I like it. His son's name is Max after his father, and Charles after his brother, and then Murphy, Max Charles Murphy. He has 10 kids with 5 women. This is he and Page's second. I like it. Why not? You know, I have to give him a pass, unlike the other sloppy people that we talk about with all the kids and all the babies' moms. Even though I do feel like when you have 10 kids, you're really not spending adequate time with any of them. You know, you're really not. No matter how much money you have, you're really not. But he doesn't. What does he do with his days? You know, he counts his money. He goes outside. We only see him outside to get a coffee. He goes to get a coffee. He's got his car keys. He drives. Last time we saw, he was driving a Mercedes. Quite a few times we see him. It's a simple Mercedes. You know, not like some big, giant, fancy European car. A Mercedes. I like it. And he's 57? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good one. Pete Davidson, wow, wow, wow. I'll get you the next time. We got more great show for you, everybody. Up next, it's time for Celebrity Lookalikes. So grab a snack and come on back. Wednesday, Kenan Thompson joins me on the couch. We'll talk about his record-breaking 15 years on SNL, and is he leaving the show? We need to know. Plus, be the shining star of your holiday party. Get the tricks to the hottest celebrity hairstyles.
Tomorrow on a new Wendy.
Wendy Williams is presented by Zulily.com. Something special every day. Visit Zulily.com today.
Every day, Zulily brings you special gifts, like a bird feeder for your mom, who loves these guys, but hates these guys. Get out of here, squirrels. Zulily, something special every day.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I love you, carry on, lean on me.
Hi, Susan. Honey.
Yeah?
I respect that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this new Robitussin honey.
The real honey you love, plus the powerful cough relief you need.
Mind if I root through your trash?
New Robitussin honey, because it's never just a cough.
I think that's part B2. Where's A5?
Hello? What's this?
Try doing it clockwise? I've never seen a clock, mate.
Breaks are good. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Let's just call the helpline.
Another delay? But you keep bouncing like I'm a bouncy castle. Oh, yeah. 5 stops, 0 leaks. We're crushing this commute.
Huggies Little Movers. Our best fitting diaper that fits like a hug. Hug on.
Mom's had to get hearty snacks.
10 grams of protein, 100% real cheese.
Mom's gonna be so proud.
Hot Pockets. You'll love them. So will your kids.
Hot Pockets.
It's time for Celebrity Lookalikes. I love this. The Celebrity Lookalike, the first one comes from Wendy D, who watches The Wendy Show on KFXO in Redmond, Oregon. Wendy thinks her boyfriend, Paul, looks like Tom Selleck. Well, here's the real Tom Selleck, and here's Paul. Ooh. Wendy. Muy caliente, Paul. Yes. Okay. Our next celebrity lookalike comes from Bonnie N, who watches The Wendy Show on WAGA in Conyers, Georgia. Bonnie thinks her late grandfather, Henry, looks like Danny Glover. Well, here's Danny Glover. All right, where are we going with this? Come on, Henry. We're just respecting the dead here? Is that what we're doing? That wasn't a lookalike. It's cute, though. It's cute. Thank you so much for that. celebrity lookalike comes from Amanda M., who watches The Wendy Show on KTTV in Sherman Oaks, California. Amanda thinks she looks like Zoe Deschanel. Now, you gotta have the eyes. You know her eyes. I don't know much else, but I know the eyes. All right. Here's the real Zoe Deschanel. All right? And here's Amanda. Oh, wait. Not bad. The eyes have it. Okay. Thank you, Amanda. And our final celebrity lookalike comes from Stephanie P., who watches The Wendy Show on WSVN in Weston, Florida. Stephanie thinks that she looks like Lady Gaga. Well, I don't know where we're going with this. Here's the real Lady Gaga. All right, Stephanie, bring it. You out Gaga. How is that possible? If you or someone you know looks like a celebrity, sharing is funny. Go to wendyshow.com. Come on, play with us. Up next, holiday movies hottest. The holiday's hottest movies. Don't go far.
If you've been injured in an accident, choosing the right law firm is critical. Choose a law firm with the experience and success
To help you get the best result possible. Injured? Call the Barnes firm now. A whole hazelnut dipped in smooth chocolatey cream, coated in milk chocolate and hazelnut pieces. Ferrero Rocher. Celebration has arrived.
Life can change in an instant. Be covered when it does. With a health plan through Covered California, we offer free expert help choosing the best plan for you. And all of our plans include free preventive care. Financial help is available, so check for yourself to see what savings you qualify for. For health insurance starting January 1st, enroll by December 15th. Because you never know when life will change. Get covered today.
Warburg Injury Lawyers. No fee guarantee means you pay us nothing until we win your case. Get burned and get the no fee guarantee.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits. The divine culture's return. Coming to Berkeley, San Jose, and San Francisco, December 12th through January 6th. Tickets at shenyun.com/ca.
KTVU Fox 2, where the power of two comes from you. Injured in a car accident? You probably have questions. Who will pay my medical bills? Do I need a lawyer?
Call the Barnes firm now to get the answers and the help you need.
Okay, here to break down the hottest movies for the holidays is pop culture expert Chris Witherspoon. Welcome back.
Great.
All right, Chris, we've got a lot to get through.
A lot, yes.
All right, so what's our first one?
Our first film is called Second Act. Now, this one stars real-life best friends Jennifer Lopez and Leah Remini. It's their first time headlining a movie together, which is kind of crazy. Leah Remini is the godmother of Jennifer Lopez's kids, which is kind of amazing. But in this film, J-Lo plays a store clerk. You see her right now. She's working in Queens. A store clerk who gets passed over for a really big promotion, but she's like, I'm not having it. I'm going to create a fake resume, replete with a Ivy League business school degree and everything, but she gets this really big corporate executive job. She's faking it. There's no good. She's faking it. But she has the street smarts, but has to come clean, essentially, because she's really not supposed to have this job. But it's a really great return to what I think J-Lo does so best. I love the movie Made in Manhattan. There's like that song Made in Manhattan. And to me, it has that feel. It's shot in New York. It's a Queens girl on the come up. J-Lo at her best. And she's done some TV that hasn't really done too well, but I think this is her sweet spot. Romantic.
I like the idea of the best things acting together.
Yeah, I mean, it's finally about time.
All right, so Second Act hits theaters, everybody, on December 21st. Carlos, what's next?
The next one is Mary Poppins Returns. This one stars Emily Blunt. She's playing this magical nanny. We all love Mary Poppins. It's been 54 years since we've seen this character. The first one came out in 1964, but Emily Blunt is not trying to do a redo of Mary Poppins. It's a sequel, so it's picking back up 25 years after Mary Poppins left. This time, Michael Banks, one of the children that Mary Poppins raised. He's in big trouble. He's about to lose his home. He lost his wife, so Emily Blunt's character is kind of sweeping in, trying to save the day. We just saw Lin-Manuel Miranda. You know him from the Broadway show Hamilton. I think that he, in a lot of ways, is really the one who steals the show. You might wonder, is Julie Andrews going to be in this film, the legendary Julie Andrews? She's not in this movie. She said she wanted to really give Emily Blunt a chance to shine. She wanted to give her a chance to really come through. She thought if she was going to be in the film, she might steal the show. But you will see Dick Van Dyke at 92 years old in this film. It's incredible. Yes.
Mary Poppins, everybody. Hits theaters on December 19th. Chris, what's next?
Next up is a film called If Beale Street Can Talk. It's kind of like my favorite art house film this holiday season. And you might know Barry Jenkins, the director. He directed the film Moonlight. He won an Oscar for that. A lot of buzz and a lot of hype around this film. Folks are wondering what's going to be after Moonlight. It is this film. It's incredible. It stars Regina King, Coleman Domingo, Brian Tyree Henry from Atlanta, and two young rising stars you guys should know, Kiki Lane and Stefan James. She's on the show on Amazon called Homecoming. But the whole story is a woman in Harlem is trying to basically prove her fiancé is innocent after he's accused of raping a woman. So it's a very deep story. It's slow-paced at times, but to me, it's a really beautiful, black sort of art house film that we need right now. And Barry Jenkins does deliver. Oscar buzz.
Well,
yeah, and Regina King, it's one of those films. I love Regina King. I feel like she's doing really well in film, but there's like some small scenes that are Oscar worthy. I think she will get a Best Supporting Actress nominee.
Okay, if Beale Street Can Talk, everybody hits theaters on December 14th. What do you have next?
Next up is a film called Bird Box, and this one is on Netflix, so you can stay home and Netflix and chill. You can stay in your little snuggies and watch it. But it stars Sandra Bullock, Sarah Paulson, John Malkovich, Trevante Rose, and Lil Rel. But basically, it's one of those really freaky sort of post-apocalyptic stories where now they're in this post-apocalyptic society. These creatures have kind of created or destroyed the earth as we know it and now inhabit it, but you have to stay blindfolded. You cannot look at them. If you look at them, you go insane and you die. So it's a really sort of scary, creepy premise. And if you like the film A Quiet Place, this is kind of a quiet place, but it's all about sight, not about sound. Yeah. Sort of crazy. Wendy, you're not into it?
Bird Box is on Netflix. No, the whole I'm just not. No,
it's too scary.
December 21st. Carlos, what's next?
Excuse
me, Chris.
It's
What's
okay.
next?
You can keep calling me Carlos. I'm like, that's not a Spanish alter ego, Carlos. Yes.
I called you Carlos the whole time.
I'm into it though. So I'm like, okay, that's my new alter ego. So next up is a film called Vox Lux, and that really means voice of light in Latin. And it stars Natalie Portman. She plays a young girl named Celeste, who her friends basically get killed in like this really big mass shooting. And she sings this beautiful song at a tribute at a funeral, and it goes viral. She becomes an overnight sensation, a pop star. And this is really about the perils of being a pop star. Natalie Portman's character kind of becomes an alcoholic, a hot mess, and now she's trying to revitalize her career. And we love Sia, right? The singer Sia. Sia wrote the score for this, and Natalie Portman is actually singing in this film. And she shot it in just 10 days. I'm a little bit surprised though, Wendy, because we just saw Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born, and I'm curious to see if audiences will come out in droves to see this because it's so close to A Star Is Born, and it's kind of a similar story, you know?
This sounds a little bit more modern, though.
It is more modern, and again, Sia, you know, it's very pop, it's very Lady Gaga-ish.
I mean, people being shot in a mass shooting.
No, it's very timely.
The song going viral.
Story. Yes.
And then she's thrown into being a pop star and then turns into a drug addict. That is right up our lane.
Wendy, right? And we see this boggling stars. We see so many overnight stars now that don't really have the grooming, you know?
Right.
They're just like overnight. So this is
that would
a
be
cautionary tale. Yes.
It hits theaters on December 7th. Chris?
Yes. Chris / Carlos. The last film is called Welcome to Marwen, and this one stars Steve Carell. We love him in The Office, right, you guys? This is him now playing a very dramatic role. Also, Leslie Mann and Janelle Monáe steals the show in this film, you guys. But it's basically a true story of a military veteran who gets beat up outside of a bar, and he loses his memory. He gets brain damage, is in a coma for several days, and comes out thinking it's 1984. And his way of sort of revitalizing himself and therapizing himself is creating this sort of make-believe world, these little dolls in his backyard. He creates these dolls. So you see that these actors are playing themselves, but also playing the dolls. It's kind of twisted and quirky, but it's based on a true story, and it's cool. It's cool cinematography. But Janelle Monáe, to me, Wendy, she really steals the show in this.
I've heard that.
Yes.
I have heard that.
Yeah, she was in 2 Oscar-nominated films. Hidden Figures in Moonlight, and I believe this might be her third Oscar. She's picking the right film. She has a good agent.
Dolls?
Yeah, dolls. They're dolls that come to life. It looks cool on screen. It's
Welcome
cool to see in theaters.
to Marwin. Hits theaters on December 21st. Chris Witherspoon, Carlos, thank you so much for being here.
Happy holidays, Wendy.
Happy holidays to you too. For more information on these films, please go to wendyshow.com. Judge Wendy is next. The holidays are in full swing, so you know we've got your ho-ho-ho hot topics. Plus, Ice Cube, yay. He's returning to the rap game and returning to the Wendy couch to tell us all about it.
We put the whoop on it, you know what I mean?
Thursday on a new Wendy.
What's this?
It's your Switch Miss feature. For real?
Oh, you can use some Switch Miss Spirit.
Switch to Boost and get up to 4 free phones and 4 lines for just $100 a month.
Ooh.
New phones?
With unlimited gigs. It's a Switch Miss miracle. Switch to Boost and get 4 lines for just $100 a month, each with unlimited gigs, and get 4 free Samsung Galaxy J7 phones. All on Boost super reliable, super fast nationwide network. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switch Miss makes it easy to save.
It's Macy's Friends and Family event. Get an extra 30% off even on designers that rarely go on sale. Plus, get an extra 15% off any beauty purchase. Now at Macy's.
Could your loved one be living a secret life as a serial killer? All new Oz. Today at 1 on KTVU Fox 2.
Why are so many people switching their Medicare coverage to Kaiser Permanente Senior Advantage? Is it because there's zero annual deductible?
And zero copays for preventive care.
Or because you get quality care and affordable coverage?
That also includes prescription drug coverage.
Maybe it's because you can visit your doctor, get tests, and refill prescriptions.
Often in one convenient location.
Or because you get your choice of all available Kaiser Permanente doctors.
And all available doctors and even specialists welcome Kaiser Permanente Medicare Health Plan members.
Or is it because Kaiser Permanente's Medicare Health Plan is rated 5 out of 5 stars in California 8 years in a row? That's Medicare's highest possible rating.
You can enroll online or by phone in as little as 20 minutes.
Call 1-877-257-7606 now to speak with one of our Kaiser Permanente Medicare specialists and get your free Kaiser Permanente guide to Medicare.
Over 40 years ago, Russ Brown set out on a mission to help injured riders. We fight for the rights of riders every day because we are riders and we know what you're going through. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, don't fight the insurance companies with just any lawyer. Call 1-800-4BIKERS.
These guys will have your back. If you go down, call Russ Brown, motorcycle attorney.
We can destroy Lucius Lion.
Plus Wednesday is the Empire Fall finale.
This is my reputation.
Lucius, he's just yawned.
Lucius. Do you want to tell them or should I?
Empire, Wednesday at 8 on KTVU Fox 2.
Time for my new favorite segment, Judge Wendy. 2 Wendy watchers have a problem, and I give the ruling. So let's hear case number 1.
Crystal is the plaintiff. She's having trust issues with her best friend Ebony after discovering a shocking secret. The secret? Ebony hooked up with Crystal's brother and never told her. Ebony is the defendant. She says it's none of Crystal's business who she hooks up with. It was one time 10 years ago, and she thinks Crystal should just get over it.
Okay. So, Crystal, I see you're 28 years old. And Ebony, you're 32.
Yes.
Crystal, I'll speak to you first. So you slept with a brother. Was that what?
That was
Excuse me, that was you. Yeah.
I sleep with him though, Wendy. I ain't sleep with him. We just.
All right, I'm gonna get to you in a moment.
All right.
How long have you been friends with Ebony?
14 years.
14 years.
14 years, that's a long time, right?
How old is your brother?
36.
All right, so everybody was consenting adults at the time this happened.
I know.
Well, you were 18 at the time.
Yes.
That's old enough to have sex.
But with my brother, Wendy, like, I just want to start by saying, I don't feel like it's okay for friends to hook up. It's not okay for friends to hook up with friends.
At the time, she was 22 when she hooked up with him. So
But we were friends. We were already friends.
Look, I'm not pardoning anything, but I can tell you that my ruling is final here. Order, 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 order. All right, so I gotta talk to Ebony. I gotta know more. Ebony,
Hey, Wendy.
you're 32 years old now,
Yes, ma'am.
and what were the circumstances that you hooked up with Crystal's brother?
It was just like a little crush. It was nothing serious. We just made out. And after that, it was what it was. It didn't go no further. It was one time.
Was there alcohol involved?
No, there was no alcohol.
Weed?
Nope, none of that. None of that. We just had an attraction, and after that, it was over. So I didn't feel like I owed her any explanation.
How long were you attracted to him prior to hooking up with him?
Probably like a year or so before that.
Did you feel the heat from him too?
Yeah. It was one of those like, hey, you're cute.
Yes.
Cute.
And so, wait, Crystal, close your ears. Set it up for me. When did it happen? Like, how did it happen? Was it in a steamy car, a hotel, your room?
Oh, no, it was nothing like that. It was at their house, you know.
Order, 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 order.
It was at their house, you know. We were in the kitchen. I went downstairs to get something from the kitchen.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were upstairs.
Okay, were you spending the night? Because
Yeah.
you girls were younger at the time.
Yeah.
And so you went downstairs, and what were you wearing?
Oh, I had on like regular pajamas. I didn't have nothing provocative, but we always like flirted with each other.
Okay.
So he kind of just pulled me in, and we kissed, and after
You were
that,
the only two in the kitchen.
right.
And it was like, what, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah,
Where was
night.
I?
You was
You were upstairs sleeping or on the phone. Order, order, order. So he pulled you in and he kissed you.
Yeah, and then that was that. Because I mean,
And then then where'd you do it? Like, did you go in the laundry room?
no, it just ended like right there in the kitchen.
I don't believe it.
We just made out though. We didn't like hook up. We just made out.
You did not have intercourse.
No intercourse whatsoever.
Does that make you feel better?
No.
Maybe she's just dramatic.
She probably waited for me to.
There was no oral sex at all?
No oral sex. No nothing.
Order, order.
No,
We're all grown-ups here. Look, come on, let's talk.
Yeah.
There was no oral sex involved.
No whatsoever.
So you kissed and that was it.
That was it. So I didn't feel like I owed her any. I'm grown, Wendy. First of all, I don't give my parents a progress report about what I do.
Okay.
I don't think I should give her one either.
Okay, Ebony, let me check back in with Crystal. Crystal, how'd you find this out?
Okay, so she's a CIA agent, so I had to do my own investigation and go through her phone, and I saw that my brother was in her DMs. So I did a little more.
Why were you in her phone? Why?
Because she is sneaky, Wendy.
don't trust
I'm
me.
an open book. She knows everything about me, Wendy, and I don't. She's a CIA.
No one knows everything about
She
it.
does. She does. She's a CIA agent. I had to do my own thinking, so.
So you went through her phone.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I did.
And
I pulled the page on her book.
okay.
Very much so.
Yeah.
You see, Wendy, I'm an only child, so I'm not used to calling people up. I'm used to doing things my own way,
Gotcha.
doing my business my own way.
Yeah.
So she's an open book. That's fine. But
Yes.
if she asks me, I'll tell her. She
Yes.
doesn't have to go snoop through my
I
phone.
wanted to find out from other people.
So what is your brother's reaction to this, Crystal?
I don't even want to talk to him about it.
You're being very childish.
No, I'm not.
Very dramatic.
I'm ignoring.
So you don't want to talk to you. Wait, all right, I've got to make my final ruling. You know, in the case of Crystal versus Ebony, I rule in favor of Ebony.
Thank you.
I do. Crystal, you need to grow up. Grow up. Nobody is an open book here.
Wow.
All right, it is time to hear case number 2.
Asa is the plaintiff. He's been living with his girlfriend in New York City for their entire relationship. He says 8 years of city life is more than enough, and he wants to move out to the country. Caroline is the defendant. She loves the glitz and glamour of the city and says there's no way she's moving to the country.
Okay, so I love your whole country look.
Thank you.
And I love your mane of hair.
Oh, thank you, Wendy.
So let's get to the bottom of it. Who wants to live in the country when you got the city?
I would love to move out. You know, we spent our 20s here. That was always my intention, was to kind of live those best years in the city while you have the excitement and the energy and the youthfulness. And I just think in order for us to move forward in our relationship and with our lives, we need a little more space. We need to discover the wonders of nature.
And I see you're 31.
Yes.
Do you have children?
We do not.
And you guys have been together for the whole 8 years that you met here and you live here?
We met back home in outside of Philadelphia, but
Okay.
I kind of moved to the city to be with her. And now I feel like it's a long time ago, but I feel like now it's time that we go my direction.
Geography, you know, is a big deal breaker, in my opinion,
For sure.
in Wendy's court. All right,
We need
Caroline.
Well, that's why we need you.
we need your help because I think New York City is the best place in the world.
Hello.
Cannot imagine being anywhere else.
Caroline is 30 years old, and I see that you went to FIT and you were a fashion student.
I was. And that's why I love New York City. There's always something to wear or see or eat or anything you want to do. It's here.
Do you remember when Carrie went to the woods with that woodsman on Sex and the City? It doesn't work out.
Nothing good happens.
It doesn't work out. So, could you by any chance not move all the way up? Like when you say the country, what are you talking about, man?
Right?
I just need a little bit of fresh air. We need to be out. You know, the energy of the city sometimes and you can't save money. It'll keep you in your 20s forever if you don't get out now.
There's lawns and trees.
Right? We
Get a place in Long Island.
I'm not totally against that, but as far as living kind of where we do, I step out of my house every day with my dog on the broken glass and trash. It's more the greenery, the lawn,
He can take the dog to the park. I don't know what he's talking about. We have plenty of nature here. You can walk down 28th
Caroline.
World District.
So you're not even willing to compromise, perhaps, if Long Island was the move?
Yeah, perhaps we could talk about it. If it's close enough to the city, sure.
That's a lot of commuting on your part.
It is, but you know, if we can get a good setup going, then maybe. But
so is there compromise? Because it's time for my ruling.
I think that's why we need you, Wendy.
Whatever you think.
All right. Well, I rule in the favor of this is not going to work. And order. I rule in the favor of it's not going to work. You cannot make him live in the city. He will grow to resent you. You cannot push her in the country. You saw what that did with Aiden and that madman. With Carrie, you know, on Sex and the City. But if you could by chance work something out, maybe it'll be a compromise. I don't even know if that'll work. Good luck to you guys. I wish you well. This court is adjourned. If you want to be on Judge Wendy, they're real cases by real people. Go to wendyshow.com and we'll be right back.
You'd rather dog sit cupcake than clean the toilet? Oh, come on. With new scrubbing bubbles, cleaning doesn't have to stink. The foaming bubbles make your toilet super fresh. It's cleaning reinvented.
S.C. Johnson. My mom and dad have been so supportive over the past 12 months. I can't even begin to tell them what an impact it's made on our lives.
Say thank you with Merci, a thoughtful collection of European chocolates.
Merci, Mom and Dad. Get gifts in a snap with free 2-day shipping at Target.
Then at 9 on KTVU Fox 2.
The fact is, there are over 9,600 roads named park in the U.S. It's America's most popular street name, but all state agents know that's where the similarity stops. If you're on Park Street in Reno, Nevada, the high winds of the Washoe Zephyr could damage your sighting. And that's very different than living on Park Avenue in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where ice dams could cause water damage. But no matter what park you live on, one of 10,000 local Allstate agents knows yours. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Currently, there are over 382 million people living with diabetes around the world. In an attempt to battle diabetes, Stanford University School of Medicine, with the Discover Lab, is currently seeking participants for the Strong D study. The study provides a gym membership and is designed to evaluate the best exercise program for people with type 2 diabetes. For more information, please contact us at diabeticsstudy@stanford.edu or call us at 650-736-2743.
Tough day at school. They served Brussels sprouts for lunch today. First time we talked about it out loud. Can't keep things like that bottled up. Yeah, well, my book report went completely off the rails. And I got tricked into trading my PB&J for a vegan brownie. Let that sink in. My day was terrible too. And it just got worse.
Milk, because being a kid is tough.
See it first and see them all at wendyshow.com. Get exclusive videos of me and our celebrity guests. Watch them all only at wendyshow.com. Hi, I'm here with Sheila Mussolino, and she makes miracles come true for families in need. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. So Sheila, tell us all about Ronald McDonald House.
Well, Ronald McDonald House Charities keeps families close to the medical care that children needs at the most terrible time of their life. So we are in 275 chapters in 64 countries all around the world. And our goal is to give the gift of togetherness, especially at this time of year.
So, and how can people get involved, Sheila?
It's really easy. You can go online to rmhc.org and you can give a donation, or you can also look for a local chapter and look for volunteer opportunities around the world. And it's awesome that you can go around the world and volunteer. We have over 500,000 volunteers all over the world.
Wow, that's impressive. Well, we here at Wendy have a surprise for you, Sheila. On behalf of the Wendy Show, Lego is giving you $200,000 worth of Lego toys. And for holidays, Lego's kicking off their Build to Give campaign. Go to wendyshow.com for more information. We'll be right back.
When scent is carried through mist, it stays with us. Airwick Essential Mist transforms essential oils into mist to surround us with the fragrance we love. Give the gift of holiday fragrance with Airwick Essential Mist. Facial hair is a problem for women of all ages, and removing it hurts. Until now, introducing Flawless, the new gold standard in facial hair removal from Finishing Touch, the world's #1 brand. Flawless is designed to be discreet. This looks like a lipstick, actually a very fancy lipstick. But inside is the finest engineered technology that removes hair instantly and painlessly with micro precision.
It just takes seconds, really, to get your whole face done.
And with an 18-karat gold-plated head, it's hypoallergenic and gentle on all skin types and tones. Flawless is the fastest, easiest, pain-free way to remove unwanted facial hair, guaranteed.
I'm able to get the smoothness of waxing without pain or redness.
A built-in light makes it easy to see and remove every single hair from your upper lip, cheek, or chin. No mixed burns or irritation, just perfectly smooth, flawless skin.
I have little tiny hairs all over my face. Flawless is really effective. Without that peach
gentle and safe to the touch.
I love that I really don't have to wait. There's no in-between times between when the hair grows back. I can use it every day if I want.
Flawless. The new gold standard from the experts in facial hair removal. Finishing touch.
It is so smooth. It's as if there wasn't hair there to begin with.
Call 1-800-984-7166 or go to finishingtouchflawless.com and get yours for only $19.99 with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Order right now and your shipping is free.
It's like my little secret.
Flawless. It's the other lipstick you won't want to be without.
Paris, Portofino, LA, Chicago. You're not New York City no matter what. This is the greatest city in the world. And we are right here. Come be one of my co-hosts. The tickets are free. Come on, everybody, for some excitement. Go to wendyshow.com. I guarantee you a good time. We'll be right back.
It's Macy's Friends and Family event. Get an extra 30% off even on designers that rarely go on sale. Plus, get an extra 15% off any beauty purchase. Now at Macy's. This is Secret Clinical. This is not Secret Clinical. Secret Clinical, not Secret Clinical. A single use of Secret Clinical is the same as 2 uses of the leading invisible solid. Twice the sweat protection. Secret Clinical.
Today at 11 on KTVU Fox 2.
With AAA, you get legendary 24/7 roadside assistance. Wait, there's more. What? There is?
AAA is more.
Yeah, we help members outsmart life in all kinds of ways.
What if I don't own a car?
We can help outsmart your bucket list with deals at theme parks, restaurants, museums, sporting events, and nearly 120,000 other locations, including luxury hotels.
Say what? Can you outsmart my lack of time?
Our travel team can help plan your next vacation package and guarantee the best price.
Now you're talking. How about my to-do list?
No problem. Members can check off car registration, title transfers, insurance, passport photos, and more.
Anything else like this?
Probably not. But here's some other member benefits.
Nice. Discounts on car insurance.
There's more to AAA than you think. Call or visit to join for as little as $5 a month. AAA. Outsmart life.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits. The divine culture's return. Shenzhen. Coming to Berkeley, San Jose, and San Francisco. December 12th through January 6th. Tickets at shenyun.com/CA.
Fox Wednesday. I ain't never giving up on this group.
Let's make them miss us.
The fall finale you've been waiting for. With a baby daddy surprise that will leave you speechless.
Oh my God.
Wednesday at 9 on KTVU Fox 2.
Tomorrow, the very funny Kenan Thompson is here, plus celebrity hair trends. I love you for watching today, and I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye.
Nice.
Today at noon, the Capitol Rotunda opened overnight to give the public a chance to bid farewell to former President George H.W. Bush. Plus, we are just hours away from a controversial vote in San Jose involving land that could be sold to Google. More at noon.
Life can change in an instant. Be covered when it does. With a health plan through Covered California, we offer free expert help choosing the best plan for you. And all of our plans include free preventive care. Financial help is available, so check for yourself to see what savings you qualify for. For health insurance starting January 1st, enroll by December 15th. Because you never know when life will change. Get covered today.
Getting everyone together this holiday season? Be ready with Stouffer's party-size lasagna. It's the mouth-watering recipe that keeps them coming back.
injured in an accident, choosing the right law firm is critical. Choose a law firm with the experience and success
to help you get the best result possible. Injured? Call the Barnes firm now.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
KTVU Fox 2.
Where the power of two comes from you.
The Real is live. Runway drama. Eva Marcille struts into the Tyra Banks Winnie Harlow drama. And Portia Williams doesn't care if her fiancé has tattoos of his exes. Ladies, would you? Plus, are we gonna party like it's 1999? A movie inspired by Prince's music is in the works. Then, we live in a petty, petty world. That's why we're on Petty Patrol. You voted for the pettiest of them all. And from Empire, our friend Keisha Campbell is here. The Real starts now. This is you guys are ready. Are you ready for some live girl chat? Yeah. You guys ready for some live? Okay, now I'm sure if you've heard, but I'm not sure if you've heard, but there is a supermodel shade war going on right now, you guys.
Are you serious?
Yes, it all started back in May when model Winnie Harlow was on Watch What Happens Live and was asked her thoughts on the show. She got her start on America's Next Top Model. I used to love that show. I watched it all the time. Check it out.
So I really started after the show because that really didn't do anything for my career. Which it doesn't do anything for any model's career, realistically. Well, that's why I went on, because I thought like that was going to be a career starter, but it was really like a reality TV show. That's not what I signed up for.
Well, this past week, top model host Tyra Banks came on Andy's show and was asked about Winnie's comments. Here's what Tyra had to say.
Oh yeah, she said that on this show.
Did she say that?
Yes.
I discovered her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, come on, I discovered her on Instagram, so, and she's on the show, so what do you think that means?
There you go. There you go.
While Tyra was a bit restrained with her shade, former top model winner Eva Marcille was also on the show this week and didn't use as much restraint. Check it out.
You know what? It amazes me that people get opportunities and they totally forget who gave them those opportunities. Like, Winnie Harlow is a beautiful girl, but let's be clear. We know her because of Top Model. The world knows her. Drake knows her. Wiz Khalifa knows her because of Top Model. So to like diss Tyra, who gave everyone this huge platform, I think is really whack.
Well, okay. Following all this drama, Winnie took to social media last night to clarify her comments in a lengthy post. You can see the full post on her Instagram, but she said in part, quote, "It has nothing to do with being ungrateful. Tyra was the first person to make me feel like I could be a model, and not only am I grateful for that, it's something I'll never forget. After being on the show, no one would book me, and no agency would sign me because of the reality TV show stigma. Okay, I stand by what I said because I don't want girls thinking it's a jump start to a modeling career."
Well said.
Okay.
Well said.
You know how they say there's three sides to every story?
Yes.
This is perfect example of that because they actually all have valid points.
Yeah.
I get where each of them are coming from, but it always goes back to what Tam says. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. seemed very genuine. It seemed very humble. The tone on the video we saw here,
It can come off.
not so much.
Yeah.
If I was her, I'd have been like, ouch, girl. Like, but I get where she's coming from. What she's saying is, and which I completely understand, is that if you see America's Next Top Model, many of those girls did not go on to be on the covers of high-end campaigns or Vogue or Double. Like, they didn't do that. So I get that part, and I think it is fair for her to say to an upcoming wanting model who wants that kind of career to tell them, okay, maybe this isn't the avenue you should take, because that's not going to help you get to where you ultimately want to go. And I think that's fair. She has the right to share that information. But it's how it was said.
I heard her loud and clear, though. I have to be honest. When I heard the first one, the first one I heard her loud and clear, because what I heard is, to her expectations of jumping on a reality show didn't propel her in the direction that she thought it was going. And so I understand that. However, I personally would never dismiss anything that was a setback or a failure in my life, because I think that for people, and everybody has this reserve, by the way, for people who want to be successful, I think that there's a drive inside of you that gets you motivated, that gives you ambition, that makes you seek mentors and all that. But there's something real dope about that drive that kicks in when you've been rejected, when you've been told that you're a failure, that you can't make it. And that reaction is actually what takes you over the top. You know what I'm saying? So you actually want those moments, the reality show that doesn't book you. And I mean, look at some of the greats. I mean, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, all didn't make it through Star Search, you know, Kelly Clarkson on American Idol, whatever it may be.
But even she's not saying about not winning. She's saying the show in general.
I'm not even on the show anymore. At this point, I'm saying, don't remove what got you to where you are, because all those setbacks actually made you go, oh, I'm going to show you.
That's what I'm saying. And we won't know who she was.
Yes, and that's the thing. Sometimes you do have this expectation that once you do something, say a reality show, you're going to get this immediate fledgling career, and that didn't happen per se. However, she got the attention. Yes. Do you see what I'm saying? People now know who she is. Yaya DaCosta was actually on America's Next Top Model, and she doesn't have like an amazing modeling career, but y'all, she's a successful actress right now. She played Whitney Houston in the movie, and she's also on a show called Chicago Med. I think that's what the show she's on. And so so sometimes you never know what avenue you're gonna take, but I am very grateful for every go home, Roger, and I am very grateful forever for Sister. You know
who I was mad? The other day I was on my Insta story.
Lonnie is looking, and what?
No, finish your Insta story.
It's such a dumb thing. No, it's such a dumb thing. I just want to say to Instagram, anybody who's watching who works there, I was looking for a Go Home Roger GIF one time. I really wanted somebody to go home. I was trying to tag them while they're in my house to go home, and there wasn't a Go Home Roger GIF. So I just want Tamara sitting there with Tia being like, go home, Roger.
That's funny.
Bye.
What are your thoughts on this? I'm curious.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I've been on Star Search. I've been on Chelsea lately. I was in a movie. Well, I think I agree with what everybody is saying. The thing is that one thing nowadays doesn't just make you. Okay, so it's like when you did Star Search, you know, I thought, it takes. What was Star Search? 2003.
It was so good.
That was 15 years ago.
Yes.
You know, and it took me 15 years. When they get this, it took me 10 years to get this show, which is so I think that's what she's talking about. She's basically saying that she's been working hard. She keeps having to work hard, and sometimes it's just not one thing. Especially nowadays, it's not just one show that's going to make you or break you. So I think that's what she.
That's like saying reality TV could have hurt Kendall Jenner. Doesn't seem to be holding her back not one bit.
No.
But you could have seen that as saying who's going to take that seriously or whatever. Somebody could, people come up with negative things for everything.
Cardi B too.
Cardi B loves
also, how long? So you had how many seasons on your show?
6 seasons.
So people got that's a long time to get to know you. Even with us, people are now getting to know us because we're in our 5th season. So it's like, but when you just on 1 season shows, it's like it's really hard to establish
and
yourself.
It takes time.
Exactly.
You just can't give up.
And people take that for granted. It takes time. So and she's doing her thing. So keep doing your thing.
And God, I agree.
Okay.
remember where she came from. Why the shade? Shaking my head. I can't stand ungrateful people and females at that. I love how Tyra was classy in her response.
She may not have liked Tyra too. But anyway, well,
you never know.
No, if you're gonna do a shade like that, like I like everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, I was on Chelsea lately. I love Chelsea. That was my girl. You know what I mean? I would never shade her and be like, yo, show didn't do nothing for me. So maybe you feel like Tyra. Anyway, someone else.
It could be personal.
This is real. Let's start being real. Okay? Someone else who has to dodge some shade recently is Real Housewives of Atlanta star Portia Williams. Portia is currently head over heels in love and expecting a child with her fiance Dennis McKinley. However, someone who's a little suspicious of Dennis is Portia's castmate Kandi Burruss. After Kandi heard a rumor that Dennis got Portia's name tattooed on his body, Kandi claims she heard Dennis does that with all his girlfriends and that he has a tattoo of an ex's face on his body too. Even though Portia denied Kandi's claims, she didn't seem bothered at all. She told People, quote, I'm 37 years old. Are you kidding? Who hasn't dated other people before? Of course he's going to have exes. But that's just who they are, exes. It's the past. Whatever happened before doesn't matter to me at all. All right? Okay. So ladies, would you care? And we're just using this as a jump off point because I just was with those girls.
Yeah.
Both Portia and Kandi. So I don't want them thinking I brought this up. This is just a jump off point. Or nobody shade me on
We all have
Instagram.
experiences with stuff like this and an opinion on what
Do you
would
care if your boo has an ex tattoo?
Absolutely not. That would mean nobody should date me then. Hello? I might be biased in this situation, but you guys know that I got Rob's name tattooed on my butt in the past. It was
Why on the butt? I never
Okay.
When he tapping it, he can see it.
Hold on. No, let me tell you. Oh my God.
So sorry.
I know this sounds crazy.
Sorry, it just came
No,
out.
I will tell you.
Okay.
That part. Okay. Definitely played it. You know, there's rap songs that were like, you know, cause that is mine. You know, like.
Right.
So people did that, and that was like a cool thing to do. But it actually was my idea to do it there because, in all honesty, I don't love the look of tattoos on me.
Oh.
So if you notice, it's the only one that I ever got that was in black.
So you only wanted him to see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And even till this day, like when I wore bathing suits, nobody ever, like, you couldn't see it unless you were being intimate with me. You never saw it, which I liked because I don't like visible black ink on me.
Okay.
So that's just not the look I was going for.
Okay.
So that
You
part.
get prime real estate though.
I sure did. Okay, but wait. So I've gotten it removed since then, but even now there is some remnants of it there. Don't listen to a little bruise. You guys have seen it.
Yeah.
Guys, nobody cares. Nobody cares. No, nobody cares. The other one didn't care. This one don't care. Nobody cares. With that being said, I think that when you get to a certain age and you date certain people, you recognize that they have had a past. You are not their first love.
Yeah.
My husband has children. There are living, human, breathing, walking, talking examples of a love that existed before me.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. You have to be okay with that. It takes a sense of maturity.
Really?
Yes.
I guess I'm not mature.
You gotta get to the point.
Adrian, I don't want to see Rebecca on my husband's arm. I would want him
to get it removed.
Oh, I would want him to get it removed.
Who's Rebecca?
I don't know. I just made up some name.
Are you sure it sounds like he sounds like a memory?
No. I'm just saying Rebecca is the full name for Becky as well, which is weird.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
That's where Becky comes from.
I don't think there's any woman out there that wants to see Becky on her man, right? No, so I don't know.
So I got mine removed, but my point is, I think that yes, when that relationship is over and you are in a new relationship, you should go through the process of getting it removed. That would be kind to that other person. If like it makes logical sense.
I'm so petty, you guys. No, I'm so petty. I would even pay for the removal. I'll be like, you know what? Here you go. Don't want to see it. Don't want to be reminded of your past. I just don't. And I like to say
save money, and I took art class on the school, so I would resketch that thing to a pyramid. So hear me. Would you have it cover it with you? Yes. If we're going to be together for a long time, do I mind about exes? No. I think, honestly, one of the hottest things I think about a man is when they can openly talk about their ex with you. You know, we don't have to go into like archives of like details.
Yeah, right.
But I think it shows a mature person. Yeah. Someday they may be talking about you in that way. And I think that owning somebody, again, back to the winning conversation, owning what happened in that experience and what it taught you today is one of the best ways for me to kind of bond on a date. For real. Yeah. Well, it's in a positive way. Yeah. Okay, but I have a question. Okay, Yeah. so I want to ask this. Yeah. So, like, when you and it started dating, right? Yeah. Well, it's not something that comes out in the beginning of the conversations. It's only like when you become. I already got it removed by then. Oh, you did? I mean, I probably could still do like 1 or 2 more sessions. Okay. But Yeah. yeah. Does it like say raw? No, you can't even. I've shown it to you. You can't even make out what it says. It literally looks like
It's blurred.
almost like you might think I had a bruise.
Yeah, it's blurred a little.
Like a slight little something that you can't even make out what it says.
This is the thing, though. When you get into a certain age bracket of dating, you didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
When you get into a certain age bracket, you're gonna have to deal with some type of luggage, and you gotta understand what luggage are you gonna put up with. If it's a name and they can get it, you know, and they're a good person, you know, don't let that worry you.
No.
You know, now if it's some other stuff, then you need to be worried.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's something you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
But even then, it was going juicy today, everybody. We have to be but there's so much more. Nipping tuck right on over to the reel.
We've got the doctor's watch. And it's our holiday highway lane.
Plus, our week of holiday steals continues.
Don't miss out on some of our best gift deals yet.
Order one for you and one for your boo too. All new, the real.
It's Macy's Friends and Family event. Get an extra 30% off even on designers that rarely go on sale. Plus, get an extra 15% off any beauty purchase. Now at Macy's.
I love Ebates. I did quite a bit of holiday shopping, and I use Ebates for all of it. Ebates is a website with thousands of stores that I shop through, and they pay me to shop. Not only do I get all my holiday shopping done in a short amount of time, I get money back for doing so.
There's no hassles, no gimmicks, nothing.
Ebates is where it pays to shop online. Literally.
Sign up for free, shop at your favorite stores, get paid. Join today and get a $10 bonus at ebates.com.
JG Wentworth, how can I help you get cash?
I want to pay off my debt and move into my own place, but I need cash now to do it.
Do you get regular payments from an insurance company?
Yes, monthly, but the thing is, it's my money and I need it now.
Right. In exchange for some or all of your future payments, we give you a lump sum of cash now. Call now and you'll also get $25 for receiving a quote. Call 1-800-741-0529 now.
Thanks, JG Wentworth.
We all want white teeth. You know, doc, how can I get whiter, brighter teeth? And the dentist really has to say, let's take a step back and talk about protecting your enamel. It's important to look after your enamel because it's the foundation for white teeth. I believe dentists will recommend Pronamel Strong and Bright because it's twofold. It strengthens your enamel, but then also it polishes away stains for whiter teeth. So it's really something that's a win-win for both the patient and the dentist. West is a huge Cher fan. You guys, she even dressed up as her for Halloween, did it such great justice. So of course, Kim and Kanye were front and center for opening night of the Cher Show, a Broadway musical about Cher's life and her relationship with husband Sonny Bono. But it seems like that all of the lights rapper decided to light up the theater with his cell phone screen during the show. So Tony-nominated actor Jared Spector, who stars in the musical as Sonny Bono, called out Kanye on Twitter saying, quote, "Hey Kanye West, so cool that you're here at the Cher Show. If you look up from your cell phone, you'll see what we're doing up here." It's opening night. Kind of a big deal for us. Thanks so much.
Ooh.
Thanks, Eek. So Kanye obviously saw the tweet because he was on his phone and responded very quickly, tweeting, "The dynamics of Cher and Sunny's relationship made Kim and I grab each other's hand and sing 'I Got You, Babe.' Please pardon my lack of etiquette. We have so much appreciation for the energy you guys put into making this masterpiece." Yo, he's back, guys.
That's sweet.
I really appreciated that. Well said. So, ladies, do you think the actor's tweet was like just for an attention grab, or would you give him a standing ovation for calling out Kanye?
What was he doing with a phone during the middle of the performance? I was wondering that.
Maybe in a scene he wasn't in? I don't know.
Maybe.
Intermission, maybe? Lonnie?
Maybe. I don't. I was wondering about that, but that is a no-no on Broadway.
Yeah.
To do that, you do not.
If
have
they
your
tell
phone.
you to put your phones away during a movie, you definitely got to put it away during Broadway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, especially since Broadway, it's almost like a custom-made show each time. You're not. Every performance is so different. I don't know. Lately, I'm on this kick with Tam. You know, I did it for Thanksgiving. Everybody, put your phones away. I was deep. You guys know, I am as phone obsessed as they come. And I love Instagram, I love social media. But guys, there's a time and a place for everything. And I really recognize that we're losing so many real moments in real time, in real life, connecting with one another when we're stuck on our screens like this. And guess what? I was upstairs stuck on my screen searching for a tweet that I found that actually came from Kanye earlier this year, I think it was in May, where he actually said, "Look at your phone as a tool, not an obligation. Use your phone like a hammer. Only pick it up when you need it. There was a time when we completely operated without phones. We're addicted to our phones." And this was coming from Kanye West. What I do give him is the fact that he saw that he was wrong. He apologized and was very, very kind.
If I was in the theater and I would have saw Kanye, I would have, excuse me, I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna take your phone.
Really? Yes.
You would do that? I would have took it right out of his hand, just like he took Taylor Swift.
Well, you know,
so
I have asked you, Lonnie, because you do comedy shows. Are people on their phones when you do your comedy shows?
Oh, no.
But it's really distracting.
Yeah, it's very distracting, but I let them for the first, 1 or 2 minutes, because they want to take pictures and they get excited. So I let them take pictures, you can see them. And then I tell them, everybody put your phones away. Let's experience this. Yeah. And what they're doing in a lot of comedy shows now is that they're locking up your phone. They have this little device.
Kevin Hart show. How do they do that? They had to they locked up phones at Kevin Hart.
It's just a little device that they give you. You have to put it in there and it locks automatically. And then you have to come back. You get to keep your phone, but it's in this lock.
At the end of the day, when someone's performing for you, period, if it's a stand-up, if it's an a cappella show, whatever it may be, it is so rude to sit there with your focus on something else as the person is giving what they wanted to give to you. Actually, I think it's unclassy.
Adele called out a person. She was, doing a live show, and there was a fan video recording her while she was performing. She actually stopped the show and she said, "Hey, you," in her beautiful British accent, "can you please put your phone down? You paid to be here." And I don't know if that sounds like you. I'm sorry, Adele. She was like, "There are people outside watching on the Jumbotron. Why don't you go out there? Because you can be present here. Get off your phone." And I love that about her.
I do. Yes. And especially when it comes to Broadway, there's so many things that can be distracting. Guys, these Broadway rooms are not huge theaters like that.
And you pay a lot of money for those tickets.
Yeah. They're very intimate. And as a performer, that can totally throw you off. Imagine having to memorize lines, dance, script, songs. Like, it's a lot going on. Cues. Yeah. So let's just be respectful to people performing out there, giving their all. But I thought Kanye's response showed that he does respect the art. Absolutely. Well, we have to take a break, but there's so much more live stuff.
Could your loved one be living a secret life as a serial killer? All nuance.
Today at 1 on KTVU Fox 2.
California Phones offers free specialized phones, like cordless phones, big button and volume enhanced phones. Get details on this state program. Call 1-800-330-5100 or visit californiaphones.org.
Honey, did you help me choose a gift for my mom?
crisis. Would I have to get a small dog for her too? Is it too looky-looky? Chic, not oui. And everything's up to 65% off. Great, she can have it all. Well, almost all. Your favorite fashion brands up to 65% off. Gilroy Premium Outlets. Shop more for less.
Roundtable gets a lot of respect.
King Arthur's Supreme!
Because we show our pizza a lot of respect. Text pizza to 86677 for exclusive offers like free pizza and wings. Message and data rates may apply.
Why are so many people switching their Medicare coverage to Kaiser Permanente Senior Advantage?
Is it because there's zero annual deductible?
And zero copays for preventive care.
Or because you get quality care and affordable coverage?
That also includes prescription drug coverage.
Maybe it's because you can visit your doctor, get tests, and refill prescriptions.
Often in one convenient location.
Or because you get your choice of all available Kaiser Permanente doctors.
And all available doctors and even specialists welcome Kaiser Permanente Medicare Health Plan members.
Or is it because Kaiser Permanente's Medicare Health Plan is rated 5 out of 5 stars in California 8 years in a row? That's Medicare's highest possible rating.
You can enroll online or by phone in as little as 20 minutes.
Call 1-877-257-7606 now to speak with one of our Kaiser Permanente Medicare specialists and get your free Kaiser Permanente guide to Medicare.
Diamond, the forever gift. The jewelry exchange has the lowest prices ever. Half carat $2.99, 1 carat $5.99, 1.5 carat $13.90, 2 carat $19.90, plus thousands of GIA diamonds at insane prices. The Jewelry Exchange, Redwood City.
Now California Phones offers free devices and accessories for your mobile phone, like this device to increase volume on your cell phone. Get details on this state program. Call 1-800-330-5100 or visit californiaphones.org.
We can destroy Lucia's lion.
Plus Wednesday is the Empire Fall finale.
This is my reputation.
Lucius, he's just gone.
Lucius. Do you want to tell them or should I?
Empire.
Wednesday at 8 on KTVU Fox 2.
Welcome back to the wheel. Let's get into more live girl chat now. We live in a petty world, people.
Yes, we do.
And sometimes there's so much pettiness going around that it's hard to keep track of.
Oh my
And
God.
that's why we're going to do you a service here at The Real. We've enlisted the help of our petty patrol.
Get ready. Really doing this? Yes, we are.
Yes, we have, and this is a segment I love. We put up 2 stories on The Real Daytime's IG story and let our fans vote on who they thought was the pettiest of them all.
All right, our first candidate to take the petty crown is the host of Queen Radio herself, Nicki Minaj. So here's what went down. Back in October, Nicki's rap rival Cardi B turned herself into police on charges stemming from a strip club brawl involving sisters and bartenders Jade and Batty G. The sisters reportedly claimed that Cardi ordered an attack on them because of rumors Jade was sleeping with Cardi's husband Offset. You with me? All right. While many thought Nicki and Cardi squashed their beef after the social media war last month, that may not be the case, because guess who Nicki hired to be in her new Good Form music video? Jade and Batty G. That's right, Jade even rubbed it into her Insta posting shots from the video with the caption, "This is so crazy, y'all. You all know how much I love Nicki Minaj. Thank you, babe, for having us. You killed this. Hashtag #1 GOAT. Greatest of all time." So, is this just a coinky dink, or is this the pettiest casting of all time? We'll find out soon. Okay.
All right.
I really believe
Adrian, next case.
I did too after her tweet where she was like, let's squash. I believed in the squash. All right. Our next petty candidate is in a grande size war with coffee company Starbucks. All right. I thought we were going Ariana Grande. That's what we're talking about. Last week it was announced that starting in 2019, that's coming up in like 5 minutes, Starbucks will be putting new filters in place to stop customers from using in-store Wi-Fi to access pornography. What? Okay, now a lot of you guys may be like, okay, who's watching porn at Starbucks? Yeah. But it seems like this is a recurring problem that they keep having. It's what? Lonnie's there be happy with this band, you'd be wrong. Adult website YouPorn. Again, Lonnie is a fan of them as well.
That's Lonnie's picture right there. You just have to see it.
Right. Hearing the news, when they heard this news, distributed an internal memo banning all Starbucks products in their company office. Now that's petty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess YouPorn will be running on Dunkin' in 2019.
Okay.
But will they run up the petty poll? Let's find out.
Why they have the room to party for everybody? I think they should just flash the picture of Lonnie's face up on the screen so you know she's busy doing more.
Reveal the vote, please.
Well, it's time to reveal the vote of the petty poll. Will it be Nicki Minaj for recruiting her rivals, or will it be YouPorn for throwing grande shade at Starbucks? Audience, what do you think? Which one? Nicki Minaj? Okay, well, let's see your results, you guys. It is Nicki Minaj. That's right, 77% of you voted for her. So I'm sorry, Nicki, I love you, but you're taking the petty prize this week. Wear it as a badge of honor. We have to take a break, but there's more of the real coming up.
Bring out the mistletoe.
'Tis the season for love. What Christmas is all about, y'all. And we've got Bachelor host Chris Harrison. Then it's a game of gifts.
Are you guys ready for us to spread some love and joy?
Plus, our week of steals is almost over.
So you won't want to miss our latest deals.
Winning the real.
Today at noon, the Capitol Rotunda opened overnight to give the public a chance to bid farewell to former President George H.W. Bush. Plus, we are just hours away from a controversial vote in San Jose involving land that could be sold to Google. More at noon.
People kept telling me to call a lawyer after my accident, but I didn't really understand why I needed one. So I just kept putting it off and putting it off. By the time I finally called, there wasn't much of a case left. All the evidence was gone, no witnesses, no photos. I found out later I should have gotten like $200,000 for that accident. Now I have medical bills I'll never be able to pay. I should have called Berg Injury Lawyers.
Maybe you're with the family you've got, or maybe the one you've chosen.
Culture salad.
Our holidays don't all look the same.
Am I saying well?
And maybe that's what makes us great. Make the dream yours. IKEA.
When fingertips, knuckles, and cuticles get cracked, you need relief that gets right to the point. Introducing Gold Bond Cracked Skin Relief, designed to precisely fill cracks, instantly soothe. 94% saw noticeable improvement. New Gold Bond Cracked Skin Relief. Every woman wants beautiful brows, so we tweeze, we thread, and we rip. But now there's flawless brows from Finishing Touch, the new gold standard and first precision hair remover that instantly and painlessly sweeps away unwanted hair for stunningly beautiful brows. Hold it like a pencil, use it like an eraser.
I see a hair that I don't want, and I'm able to erase it.
Because inside Flawless Brows Precision Hair Removal Tip is the finest engineered technology that erases unwanted hair with micro precision. Perfectly balanced for perfect control between the brows, above, below, even toward the hairline.
I have very sensitive skin, so Flawless Brows is perfect for me because it's so gentle and it's so precise. It's not going to take more hair than I'm targeting.
And with an 18-karat gold-plated head, it's hypoallergenic and gentle on all skin types.
This was just so easy, so painless. It just erases the hair away.
Flawless Brows is the fastest, easiest, pain-free way to have beautiful brows every day. Guaranteed.
One of my favorite things is I don't have to wait for the hair to grow out like you do with waxing. It's a solution to an otherwise daily battle. I just see it and take it right off.
A built-in LED light makes it easy to see and erase unwanted hair. Discreet and portable, so you can use it anytime, anywhere.
I can do it myself whenever I want. For quick touch-ups, it's perfect.
Dermatologist approved. Flawless Brows has precision hair removal that's gentle and safe to the touch.
It's painless, easy to control, fast to use, super safe, and it's so pretty. I mean, it's perfect.
Call 1-800-984-9142 or go to getflawlessbrows.com and get yours for only $19.99 with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Order right now and get free shipping.
It just erases the hair away.
Flawless Brows.
Virginia right now.
Virginia, okay. Virginia. We got somebody from the DMV representing over here. And okay, awesome. So I'm gonna ask you this. We were excited for a second, but Virginia, all the way. Have you and your family started getting like ready for the holidays yet, decorating and stuff?
Yeah, actually, if you can see behind me, my Christmas tree is up.
Yes,
My mom
I
put it up
do.
after Thanksgiving.
I love it. And I see the family photos. Beautiful. So
Yeah, that's my son and my sister-in-law and my sister.
that's all family. There you go. I love it. So what exactly do you do in Virginia? What do you do?
I'm actually in the military. I've been in the military for 14 years.
Thank you.
Army.
Army? Hey.
Yes.
Okay, well, we know
I'm
we
an
can
Army instructor, so I'm an Army teacher, basically.
I love that. That's awesome. Our next Army brat. So, it's awesome. Well, we know it can get expensive buying things for other people, Christina. So we are giving you the chance to win some early Christmas cash with our game, Run and Find. Okay? It's very easy. Very easy. Deck the halls. So I'm going to call out a holiday item, and you'll have 20 seconds to run and find it. You ready, girl?
Yes, I'm ready.
If you get that before the bells jingle, you'll get $300. I have a feeling. Here we go. We want you to find a Christmas ornament. Go.
Christina, to make your season bright, first of all, thank you so much for your service to our country. We appreciate you. And for finding the ornament, we're going to give you $300. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Christina, and happy holidays, all right? Holidays to you, too. We'll be right back with more of The Real.
Up next, from the hit show Empire, our friend Tisha Campbell is here.
Life can change in an instant. Be covered when it does with a health plan through Covered California. We offer free expert help choosing the best plan for you, and all of our plans include free preventive care. Financial help is available, so check for yourself to see what savings you qualify for. For health insurance starting January 1st, enroll by December 15th. Because you never know when life will change. Get covered today.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits. The divine culture's return. Shenzhen. Coming to Berkeley, San Jose, and San Francisco. December 12th through January 6th. Tickets at shenyun.com/ZA.
It's not the way it looks in the instructions, Harold. I think that fits. Where's A5? This is ridiculous. Where are the words?
Breaks are good. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Kinder Joy, a special way to add surprise to your kid's day. Simply pop, peel, scoop, and play. Kinder Joy, a little surprise goes a long way.
Mommy! So people, one day it was take your kid to work day. My dad's a research analyst. You fill in the blanks. I had to build a diorama of the Jurassic period. I got cast as a fence in the school play. How are your lunch negotiations going? My parents are lowballing me. Thanks, Carla. Well, gotta run. I got scout straight into Taekwondo. This was fun today. Later.
Milk. Because being a kid is tough.
Get Berg and get the no-fee guarantee. 1-800-400-BERG.
for a good time. She's an actress and singer who is combining both of those talents on this season of Empire. Please welcome our good friend, Tisha Campbell. Love having you here. I have got to say, you are fresh off of hosting the Soul Train Music Awards. Amazing. Soul Train Awards. Look at your girl, Tashina Arnold. You guys killed it. We loved watching it.
Yeah,
but your chemistry is unreal. Is it because it's true that you guys have been friends since you were 11 years old?
No, I can't get rid of her. I know her since we were like 11 and 12.
Yeah,
She
okay.
makes me say 11 and 12 because she wants everybody to know that I'm older than her.
Okay.
But we've known each other. We first started meeting on auditions.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Yeah. And so we would bond because there was this one girl named Pam, and she always got all the good jobs. So when we would see her, we'd be like, let's go get a slice. Let's just leave. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of fun. But we bonded there. We just stayed friends for so long.
Oh, I love it. That's real different.
You've seen us in action, Ronnie.
Yeah, we've had some tots together this summer. Yeah. Thank you for donating to our Toys for Tots too.
Yes,
We
my
appreciate
pleasure.
that. Well, now you're single.
I'm single.
You looking for somebody? You looking?
Lord Jesus Christ.
That's a good one to look for.
I mean, yes, but not really, but yes. You know, it has to be somebody who's like evenly yoked.
Yes,
and somebody who loves my boys.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
you know, it's, come with it. But dating is weird now. Because they do different stuff. Y'all do different stuff.
Like what?
Like the texting.
Like no
calling. Oh, and then the pics.
The pictures
are disrespectful.
Wait, what?
You know what kind of pics I'm talking about. Don't send me no discombobulated,
Okay.
like, looking things
Got it.
to me.
Okay.
I
Moving
don't
on.
wanna see that.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
move on.
you need to be single
Yes.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, yeah, we don't want to see that.
You recently posted that you are back in the studio. How awesome is that? So does that mean the music?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working with this guy named Eric Bellinger,
Okay.
Randolph, and I'm going to do a duet with, somebody knows? Yeah. And we're going to do a duet. It's coming out soon, and I'm really excited about it.
Yay. That's so cool. You're busy. We also know that you are guest starring in this season of Empire.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on. Okay. But I also heard that some actresses turned down this role. Is that
Oh,
true?
yeah, because you know what? The description of the actor of this particular role was she was a 90s has-been. And so
Okay.
they looked into singers and who, actors who can sing.
Yeah.
But I like roles. I don't care about labels.
Yeah.
So I don't mind taking on different roles.
Yeah.
Like that. And it was fun. Plus, I get to play with my friends.
Yeah.
You know,
And you don't mind that check either.
Shit, I don't mind that.
I love that. And we love you in this. So let's take a look at a sneak peek of tomorrow night's fall finale of Empire.
Well, look here, I'm trying to get these left-footed knuckleheads in shape, but as you can see, none of them can find the beat that they can take to their asses.
Damn it! Stepped on my bunion!
Carlito, again, it's your other left.
Right.
Let's just start from the top. Here.
Yeah, start from the damn top.
Oh my gosh.
I love Taraji!
How is that working with Taraji?
I love her so much. Just watching her work. You know, we don't ever get a chance to see each other on, like, work with each other, unless we're working with each other.
Right.
So, and that's a rarity.
Right.
So being able to work with her and watch her work, it's amazing. She's so sweet.
Right.
So every time I come, she's welcoming and loving and supportive.
Anything about the Martin reboot? Anything happening with that?
Yeah, you know what? We are really trying very hard to work out scheduling.
Okay.
That's the thing that is really, you know, it's never going to be the same because Tommy's not with us anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we
of making it a different type of.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And there is also a story about the Obamas when you met them. That's kind of embarrassing.
Why we gotta talk about that? Oh my goodness. No. We were talking about, how there are embarrassing times that you don't even realize. I was at like an Image Award or the BET Awards or something like that, and this photographer was like, "Hey, can you take a picture?" He wasn't actually the president at that time. He was the governor, and so
the senator.
Yes. And so he said, "Can you take a picture with Senator?" And I said, "Oh, yeah." But then I saw Tashina. It's always a Tashina story.
Oh no!
I didn't want her to leave me, and I had a gown on and everything. And I was like, "Yo, Tashina!" Okay, yes. Can you give me 1 second? Yo, Tashina! Wait! Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Not knowing he would end up being.
No.
So where is that picture now?
It's on my mantle.
Of course. Just say, put it
You gotta put it on Instagram so we can see it.
we would love to see it. Thank you so much. We love it when you stop by. You're awesome.
I miss you guys.
Be sure to catch the fall finale of Empire, which airs tomorrow night at 8 on Fox. And be sure to catch Tisha and Debbie O's Chocolate Nutcracker, which runs from December 6th to the 9th. After Redondo will be performing at our center. Now we've got to take a quick break. We'll be back. This is real. Up next, don't miss these holiday deals. It's Deals on the Reel.
When it comes to milk, Fairlife is ultra filtered for 50% more protein and 50% less sugar. It's an oh so good, one of a kind of milk. Fairlife.
I used to have more hair. I used to have more color. And I used to have cancer. I beat it. I did. Not alone. I used to have no idea what the American Cancer Society did. Research? Yeah. But also free rides to chemo and free lodging in their hospitals. I used to maybe give a little, then I got so much back. I used to have cancer.
Please give at cancer.org.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Gift with the best price, which isn't easy, especially when you don't know what to buy. But don't worry, we've got gifts that are sure to bring holiday cheer, because this is day 2 of our holiday week of Steals on the Reel. Shay from The Real Shop is back. We love this girl right here, and if there's one thing that she's amazing at, it's dropping prices. So tell us what's dropping down this chimney.
Alrighty, Adrian, makeovers make us confident, right? So starting with your smile, you can feel confident in your best asset without going to the dentist to brighten up your smile. So this Smile Science Teeth Whitening Kit lets you perform teeth whitening treatments on yourself from the comfort of your own home. You know how it works, girl. This is so incredible. They have custom fitting trays, FDA registered and dentist approved gel, and as you can see, LED light activator. And this kit will help you see results in as little as 20 minutes.
Amazing.
Making your teeth up to 10 shades whiter. That's 10 shades. So, usually this sells for $299, but today you'll be able to take one home for the low price of $34 from the real shop. That's 89% off.
This is what she does, people. $1 million smile that doesn't break the bank.
Exactly.
What a great gift. Thank you so much, girl.
Okay.
Shay, I've already peeked in this bag, and I think Santa has really stepped his gift gaming up. Tell everyone what it is.
All right, so these amazing, painless, affordable at-home hair removal devices, they are the latest string in incredible products from Zoe Isla. Look at this. With the power of a spa treatment, but in a manageable session, you can get the satisfaction of zapping hair away long-term. We like that, right?
Long-term.
4 times the coverage of a razor, and the same time commitment stays smooth with Zoe Isla. I know. Be careful. This thing really works. So usually this sells between $69.99 and $89.99. I think I did do that too, actually. But today you'll be able to take one home for the low price of $27 to $39. That's 56 to 60% off at the real shop. Yeah.
You people that would love this, right, Sam?
It's okay. We all can use it.
Okay, well, every bag has something that will put a smile on someone's face Christmas morning, so I'm sure this one won't disappoint.
Definitely not. Okay, Samara. Yes. Fill your home with music with the help of high-powered Soundbot HD. Now, don't be fooled by this little Bluetooth speaker's lightweight design.
Okay.
Portable build. It has 5W speakers built into either side of the speaker. The Soundbot delivers rich, bumpy sound that will fill any room in your home, your backyard, maybe even the beach come summer. It's time to kick out those holiday jams, though, right?
Yes.
Just in time for the party. So usually, this sells for $79.99, but today, you can take one home for the low price of, get this, $39.99 when you shop at the real shop, 50% off.
That is awesome. That is perfect for the holiday turn-up. Thanks, Shay.
Yeah, appreciate it.
My turn, my turn. Okay, Shay, I think we all want to give gifts that will actually be used, right?
Yes, of
So
course.
tell us about this one.
All right, Jeannie, check this out. This is our fitness tracker, our training companion. You can push a little button right there. This is the Smart Fit Pal trainer watch. It makes it easy to stay on top of your health and fitness goals. We're getting ready for 2019. Pairing with the smartphone app, this watch shows you exercises, monitors your progress as you go, whether you're into cycling, yoga, running, or a little shopping cardio. You know what I mean?
You know us.
Its IP67 water-resistant rating makes it great for swimmers, and the watch even comes with extra smart features like a remote shutter, alarm reminders, and GPS route tracking.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that? Isn't that amazing? So, usually this sells for $193, but today you can take one home for the low price of $29.99, 84% off. More like it, right? Yeah. Okay.
All right, now everybody can benefit from a little exercise, right? So guess what, studio audience, our real fam? You are all going home with the Smart Fit Pal.
That's what I love it, right?
Yes, and we didn't forget everybody at home. Okay, so if you want more information on any of these gifts and a chance to win the watch of your own, head over to the shop tab. Hey, thank you for stopping by. We are taking a quick break, people. We'll be right back with more of The Real. If you would like to be a member of our studio audience, go to thereal.com and click tickets.
On the next TMZ Live, fired NFL star Kareem Hunt rages out on camera again.
And this time he has to be restrained in a nightclub fight.
Today at 3 on KTVU Fox 2.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits. The Define Culture's return. Shenzhen. Coming to Berkeley, San Jose, and San Francisco. December 12th through January 6th. Tickets at shenyun.com/CA.
Getting behind on bills is stressful.
Can you loan me $10,000 fast?
Sure we can. LoanMe can loan you up to $100K in as fast as a day.
Thanks, Loan Me.
Call LoanMe at 846 Loan Me, because we can.
Generation Tux just made your wedding a lot easier. No store, no stress, no hassle. Go to GenerationTux.com. I guarantee looking good has never been this easy.
Injured in a car accident? You probably have questions. Who will pay my medical bills? Do I need a lawyer?
Call the Barnes firm now to get the answers and the help you need.
Diamonds, the forever gift. The Jewelry Exchange has half-carat anniversary bands for $2.99, 1-carat 2-stone rings $9.90, 1.5-carat 3-stone rings $19.90, and 1-carat studs just $3.99. All guaranteed to appraise for double. The Jewelry Exchange, Redwood City.
Am I saying it well?
Maybe you're making Mary, or maybe you're making Coco. Maybe you're with the family you've got, or maybe the one you've chosen. Maybe there's lights. There's definitely lights. Maybe there's one less this year. Or maybe one more. Our holidays don't all look the same. And maybe that's what makes us great. Make the dream yours. IKEA.
Fox Wednesday. I ain't never giving up on this group.
Let's make them miss us.
The fall finale you've been waiting for. With a baby daddy surprise. That will leave you speechless.
Oh my God.
Wednesday at 9 on KTVU Fox News.
Closed captioning and other consideration for the real provided by
Give Joy Gift Joy at Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. Take an extra 25% off only once a year. Save on fine jewelry, an Instant Pot, and Beats headphones. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. And snap a free picture with Santa this weekend at Kohl's. Give Joy Gift Joy at Kohl's.
S.C. Johnson. This is Secret Clinical. This is not Secret Clinical. Secret Clinical, not Secret Clinical. A single use of Secret Clinical is the same as 2 uses of the leading invisible solid. Twice the sweat protection. Secret Clinical.
Today's show was jam-packed and full of fun. Thanks to our real fam for showing us so much love all show long. At P_Y_Tender said, we love you ladies. All so different with different opinions and insights. Besties in my head, I know we'd have a great chat and laugh over drinks.
Yes.
All right?
That's what it's about.
Yeah. That Chic Rose says, as long as he doesn't tattoo my name on him, clearly it's bad luck. All right?
I got you.
Jeannie, this one is for you. One of our real fam actually found a Go Home Roger gift for you. Yes, he did.
DM me. I want to see it.
Yeah,
Okay,
what
what
she
is
did.
it?
Sorry. There it is, right there.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, go, Jeannie, Mom.
Okay, got you.
Thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
we love hearing from you guys. So keep hitting us up. Thanks to our girl, Tisha Campbell, for stopping by. We love all of you. We'll see you right back here next time on the holiday version of what?
You're watching KTVU Fox News.
You know when you're at Ross and you find a deal on cookware that makes you say, yes, oh yeah, bring on the holidays. That's yes for less. Everything you need to prep, cook, and serve up the season. It feels even better when you find it for less. At Ross, yes for less.
I got hurt bad at a car accident, and now I need surgery.
My husband got hurt in a car accident, and he can't work as much as he used to. What are we supposed to do now?
Here's what you do. Call us. Your bills don't pay themselves. You've got to protect yourself and your family.
I did something about it. I called Dunyan Law, and they got me an incredible settlement.
Money doesn't solve everything, but it sure can help.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call us. It's just that easy.
Call 877-DUNYON. DUNNION.
You know when you're at Ross and you realize you are the hostess with the mostest?
Yes.
Yeah, that's yes for less. Entertaining style all season long. It feels even better when you find it for less. At Ross, yes for less.
H.W. Bush. What we're learning about tomorrow's National Day of Mourning.
And a controversial vote in San Jose involving land that could be sold to Google. Concerns by some housing advocates.
And taking a big step, the proposed plan by homeowners in San Francisco's Millennium Tower building that could fix and reverse the tower's tilt. How much it'll all cost.
This is KTVU Fox 2 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Destiny Kaelian.
And hi everyone, I'm Frank Malakoti in for Mike this afternoon, and we want to get you outside nice and quick. Might be sunny right now, but later today, another storm system will be working its way here to the Bay Area, coming up in about 15 minutes. There we go. Our meteorologist, Mark Tamayo, will be joining us to talk about how much rain will come with that new storm.
Now in Washington, D.C., where the body of former President George H.W. Bush is lying in state, with thousands hoping to pay their respects in person. We have here a live look at what's happening inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. So many people filing by, pausing for a moment to say thank you and goodbye to our country's 41st president. Earlier today, the late president's service dog, Sully, was at the state capitol to bid farewell. Sully was with him back in July following the death of his wife, Barbara. Sully later sat among the disabled Americans gathered to pay their respects to former President Bush. KTV's Doug Luzader has the latest in tributes in his honor and what's planned for tomorrow's National Day of Mourning.
President George H.W. Bush lying in state for a second day as thousands of Americans come here to Capitol Hill to pay their final respects. The crowds continue to gather here in Washington. Politicians, dignitaries, and everyday Americans hoping for one last chance to see the man they say represented a kinder, gentler era of American politics.
He comes from a generation of people that treat people like people, and it's just wonderful.
I knew he'd always keep his word. And he'd always keep your confidence if you asked him to keep your confidence. I miss him.
And the tributes aren't limited to Washington. On Monday night, the former president's adopted hometown of Houston, honoring him with a special concert. Mayor Sylvester Turner remembering him as a statesman who also had the common touch.
Whether you were a president or a world leader, whether you were a waiter in anyone's restaurant, George Herbert Walker Bush treated you just the same.
On Wednesday, the casket will be moved to the National Cathedral for a state funeral. There will be 4 eulogies, including one by the 43rd President, George W. Bush. Then the former president's body will be transported back to Houston, where he'll lie in repose before the final funeral and burial ceremony at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library.
To think that I'm doing something for not just George W. Bush, H.W. Bush, but for Barbara also.
And the federal government will be closed tomorrow. President Trump has declared it a national day of mourning. In Washington, Doug Luzader for KTVU Fox 2 News.
We're going to bring you live coverage of the funeral service tomorrow on Mornings on 2. Prince Charles and former Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney are among the foreign dignitaries attending.
New at noon, Hayward police are investigating a homicide after a body was discovered yesterday inside a building near Main Street close to the now-shuttered Bryman College. An autopsy is being performed, but police say the body had a possible gunshot wound. We're still waiting for the victim's identity to be released.
Happening today, the San Jose City Council is expected to decide whether or not to sell a valuable parcel of city land to Google.
And as KTVU's Ali Rasmus explains, the land for sale is next to the Diridon train station, and the project is controversial because of the impact of Google mega campus could have on the neighborhood and the housing market as well. Ali?
Well, if you gaze out at the open lots and the parking spaces around the Diridon station here in San Jose, some see future development here as a dream come true, but for others, it's a housing nightmare.
Everybody in San Jose knows we have a housing crisis. We don't need another tech campus in Silicon Valley.
Bringing a major employer to downtown San Jose is good.
The San Jose City Council is expected to approve the sale of about 21 acres of public land near the Diridon station to develop a Google campus with housing, office space, and retail around the transit hub. The price, about $110 million, which the city says is market rate.
If you're going to build or bring in 20,000 jobs and build housing, it's the best place in the Bay Area to do it. Right where you have
BART coming in, you have high-speed rail.
Leaders of nearly a dozen regional groups from the Carpenters Union to business, neighborhood, and public transit associations echoed that view at a news conference this morning at the Silicon Valley organization.
We are thrilled about the prospect of an active, vibrant downtown, a downtown with lots of people.
They touted Google's willingness to work with city and community leaders to develop a plan for the land without demanding tax credits or city subsidies.
Unlike what Amazon just did, extorting money from cities to build there, unlike what happened in Cupertino with the walled-off spaceship.
This is as good as it gets, right? You have a major employer coming to your city saying, we want to add 20,000 jobs. We want to be additive to your community. This is a dream come true for a city that's been looking to add another major employer in downtown San Jose.
There's this idea that will trickle down to the rest of the community, and it has never worked out that way in the past here in this valley, and it will not work that way in the future. So that's my biggest concern.
Some housing advocates have staged a hunger strike against the project since Saturday. They plan to keep up that protest until the city council vote tonight.
This land is public land, and we need to use public land for public good, not for private profit.
San Jose City Council is expected to approve the sale of this land. Their vote is scheduled to happen sometime after 2:30 this afternoon, but there is a period of public comment before then, so it could take a few hours before a decision is made by the council. Live in San Jose, Allie Rasmus, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Allie, thank you. Today, homeowners in San Francisco's Millennium Tower building will be taking a big step when they think will shore up their leaning 58-story building. KTV's Lee Martinez says how the proposed plan could fix and then reverse the tower's tilt.
The Millennium Tower is leaning 14 inches off center, but now the Homeowners Association thinks it found a solution. It just needs city approval. For the past 9 years since it opened, the Millennium Tower has sunk by 18 inches. Now the Millennium Tower Homeowners Association hired engineer Ron Hamburger of Simpson, Grumpertz, and Herger to halt its settlement and reverse the tilt. It plans to retrofit the tower by installing 52 steel and concrete structures to shift some of the building's weight from its foundation to the bedrock below. The Millennium Tower Homeowners Association will submit a permit application to the city for what it calls a perimeter pile upgrade. The new piles will be installed on the building's north and west side. The city has not yet issued a comment on the permit application or proposed fix to the tower's tilt. And if approved, the entire job could take 18 months and $100 million to fix. In San Francisco, Lee Martinez, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
New at noon, the Boys and Girls Club in Sonoma is facing a lawsuit over allegations that it covered up reports of sexual abuse. An LA law firm filed a lawsuit today on behalf of 4 victims. The claim is against the Boys and Girls Club of America's branches in Sonoma Valley and Central Sonoma Valley. It all stems from the sexual abuse by former employee Paul Dwayne Kilgore. Sexual abuse claims span more than 10 years, with victims ranging from age 6 to 10. The suit claims the abuse by Kilgore continued until he finally was arrested in 2016. This year, he was sentenced to 150 years in jail. Police in San Rafael are investigating a deadly shooting in the Canal area. It happened around 6 o'clock last night near Pickleweed Park on Canal Street. The man's body was found inside his car. He's described as a young adult. Witnesses reported seeing a man running from the scene after the shooting. Police have not yet released a description of the suspect. Anyone that might have information about the case is asked to call police.
Now to the latest on the California wildfires and an update from Butte County officials on the number of people who died during the Camp Fire. The Butte County Sheriff now says the death toll is 85. That's down by 3 from an earlier report. Also, the number of people still unaccounted for has dropped to 11. Earlier this week, 25 people were listed as missing. Experts say the widespread destruction from the Camp Fire will make the existing housing shortage in California even worse. Property data company CoreLogic estimates 14,000 homes in Butte County were destroyed. Now the thousands of people who were displaced will be adding to the high demand that's driven up home and rental prices. Officials say massive action will be needed to address what was already an urgent crisis as communities across our state are falling behind on housing goals. The Colorado man who bought an RV for a Butte County family who lost everything in the Camp Fire says he can't stop now. The Chico Enterprise Record reports 1 week after Woody Faircloth gave the first RV away, he bought another and drove it to an evacuation center for Butte County fire victims. Now people are contacting him with RVs they want to donate. Faircloth says what he thought was a one-man operation has turned into a full-blown nonprofit organization run by volunteers. He says the hardest part is when he tries to give someone an RV, but they tell him another family needs it more. Brewers are also coming together to help survivors of the devastating Butte County Camp Fire. Some off-duty Santa Clara firefighters are helping brewers making a batch of Resilience Butte County Proud IPA. They're at the Rock Bottom Brewery in Campbell. Chico-based Sierra Nevada Brewery began the Resilience IPA fundraiser. More than 1,000 breweries nationwide have signed up to brew the ale. This is special for the firefighters helping today because they were on the front lines battling flames during the campfire.
They all saw the devastation, they saw the loss in the town of Paradise in the area, and for them to be able to come back here and give back to that community, you know, financially through, you know, something like this, it means the world to us.
Dispatch and beer will be ready for sale December 20th. All proceeds will benefit the Campfire Relief Fund.
And hundreds of people all came together over the weekend to help victims of the Woolsey fire in Malibu. They attended a special star-studded music festival to raise money for the recovery effort.
A lot of people look at Malibu and this part of California and say, oh, they don't need help. But you know what? There's working people who lost their homes. There's mobile home parks. There's firefighters, nurses, lifeguards. Those people need a hand up.
Everyone packed into the King Gillette Ranch for the One Love Malibu Festival. It's just below the fire-scorched hills of Malibu Canyon. Katy Perry, Robin Thicke, Rick Springfield, Natasha Bedingfield, and some others performed. There's no word yet on how much money they raised.
Some Bay Area teachers receive a life-changing surprise. Coming up in our coming minutes, how the College Football Playoff Foundation is stepping up to help Bay Area educators.
Also ahead, UC Berkeley settles a lawsuit challenging free speech. Up next, what we're learning about that deal and the impact it will have on campus.
Last Man Standing is back and bigger than ever. All new Fridays on Fox.
If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals available to answer your questions and let you know what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Paula Haddock, here with spokesman Rob Wolf. So please tell the viewers at home, Rob, who should be calling right now?
Well, just like you said, Paula, anyone who's been injured in an accident, it was not your fault, and you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions, and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. Call now.
Life can change in an instant. Be covered when it does with a health plan through Covered California. We offer free expert help choosing the best plan for you, and all of our plans include free preventive care. Financial help is available, so check for yourself to see what savings you qualify for. For health insurance starting January 1st, enroll by December 15th. Because you never know when life will change. Get covered today.
Hey, could you help me choose a gift for my mom? Do these scream midlife crisis? Would I have to get a small dog for her too? But is it too looky-looky? Chic, not we. And everything's up to 65% off. Great, she can have it all. Well, almost all.
Your favorite fashion brands up to 65% off. Gilroy Premium Outlets. Shop more for less.
Tough day at school. They served Brussels sprouts for lunch today. First time we talked about it out loud. Can't keep things like that bottled up. Yeah, well, my book report went completely off the rails. And I got tricked into trading my PB&J for a vegan brownie. Let that sink in. My day was terrible too. And it just got worse.
Milk, because being a kid is tough.
Hi folks, we're back. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals who can let you know what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Paula Haddock, here with spokesman Rob Wolf. So please let the viewers know who should be calling right now.
Well, just like you said, Paula, anyone who's been injured in an accident, it was not your fault, and you do not have an attorney, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions, and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You call right now. Any Now, police are investigating the death of a 3-year-old girl who died as she was hit by a car in a parking lot. It happened last night in the Sears department store parking lot on Somersville Road. The girl was taken to a hospital where she could not be saved. The driver who hit the girl stayed at the scene and is cooperating with investigators. At this point, drugs and alcohol do not appear to have been a factor.
UC Berkeley making policy changes after settling a lawsuit over claims that it discriminated against conservative speakers on campus. The Berkeley College Republicans filing that lawsuit last year after a speech by conservative commentator Ann Coulter was canceled. As part of the settlement, Cal agreed to make some changes to its major events policy, including changing fees and security requirements. The university also agreed to pay $70,000 for the plaintiff's legal fees. Legal experts believe the settlement gives both sides room to claim victory.
The college Republicans can say they won, and certainly their press releases say they won because there are some changes that are being implemented, and of course they did get a payment of $70,000 in attorney's fees. Now the university will say, well, actually, it was good for everybody, or we won because these are changes that were already in process.
The university said its current major events policy is what allowed conservative groups to host several successful events on the Cal campus.
A new report shows arrest rates in California have dropped substantially, but that African Americans are still being arrested more than whites. The report by the Public Policy Institute of California found the state's arrest rate dropped almost 60% in 2016, since its peak nearly 30 years ago. Researchers say that African Americans were 3 times more likely to be arrested in California in 2016. That's slightly better than in the early 1990s, when they were 3.6 times more likely to be arrested.
No rain just yet, but we understand it is coming. Let's check in with Mark Tamayo and find out when it's arriving.
Yeah, it could be a factor for the afternoon and evening commute, guys, as the next system approaches the Bay Area. Already some clouds with mostly cloudy skies, a big blanket over a good portion of the region. Here is our live camera looking out towards San Jose. Kind of some nice cloud features here working their way into the South Bay. Not much in the way of raindrops just yet, but that'll be changing, especially after 3 or 4 o'clock. So next system coming on board for today and into Wednesday. This will not be a big deal. Most areas picking up between about 0.2 of an inch to about 3/4 of an inch for the coastal hills. Winds around 30 miles an hour, and the Sierra has been a very productive week for the mountains. No winter storm warning, but still adding nice little dusting to that snowpack around 3 to 6 inches. Now rainfall expectations, here's what the forecast model thinks. A bunch of zeros right now. We'll put this into motion, and those numbers adding up. Looks like the heaviest downpours will be early tomorrow morning. Well, late tonight into early tomorrow morning. So you can see those amounts ranging from maybe just 0.09 in Napa. San Francisco, we'll see if this verifies it, to just over ½ an inch. In San Jose, about a quarter of an inch. So here is the satellite and the radar. Here's the circulation out here in the Pacific. You see that moisture streaming in. This will not only be a rain event for us, but also down towards Southern California, with the rain chances going up for them as we head toward Wednesday. Here we are right now, the cloud cover and some green showing up. Now, most of this is falling up above, way up above our heads, maybe 15, 20,000 feet. It is pretty dry in the lower levels, so we're not seeing much in the way of rainfall hitting the ground just yet, even with these green returns. But as I mentioned, probably after 3, around 4 o'clock, that'll be changing for portions of the Bay Area. It is pretty cool, showing you some 50s with San Francisco 53, Fremont 51, and Livermore last check reporting 50. And a bit of a breeze. You can see these winds gusting. It's an east wind in Napa, gusting at 21 miles an hour. Fairfield, a northerly wind right around 18. And some more reports for you. SFO, that is the light wind at about 3 miles an hour. But you'll notice these winds coming in out of the east. That is a dry wind direction. That's why it feels so dry across the region this morning or this afternoon. Here's a live camera looking out toward SFO with mostly cloudy skies. No raindrops on the runways just yet, but we're watching out for that. So rainfall on the way. You can see this area of low pressure. The main track will actually be down towards Southern California, and this is not a widespread rain event. So some areas not picking up much rainfall at all. So some scattered light rain showers developing. Here's the forecast model this afternoon, 3 o'clock. And then this is 6 o'clock. Notice not too much happening for the inland locations. And then tonight, 11 o'clock, and then some more rain into early Wednesday morning. So we could have some wet roadways for the Wednesday morning commute, and the chance of some scattered showers still throughout the day on Wednesday. Highs remains chilly for today, mainly in the 50s. And here's a look ahead. Remains unsettled through Wednesday. Clearing skies. It's a nice weather forecast, a dry one, as we head toward the weekend.
Mark, thank you. Still to come at noon, taking a deeper look at your personal health. Up next, a new tool that's helping doctors prevent serious illnesses.
An unexplainable disappearance.
Can't believe I'm searching my dumpsters for my boyfriend.
Can police unravel this mystery? Next Dateline. Today at 2 on KTVU Fox 2.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night.
Just so inspiring. Makes me want to go dance.
Breathtaking. Brilliant.
It's out of this world.
It was good. Coming to San Francisco, San Jose, and Berkeley.
If you've been injured in an accident, choosing the right law firm is critical. Choose a law firm with the experience and success to help get you the best result possible.
Injured? Call the Barnes firm now. Call 1-800-800-0000. The attorneys at the Barnes firm are ready to help 24/7.
Okay, everybody, let's do the numbers. Cash Creek Casino Resort has video poker machines with 99% payback. We pay 3 to 2 on blackjack, and you can count on us to always stand on 17. Play to win on over 1,700 penny machines. High-gallon baccarat players, you'll pay no commission. When you create more than winning, we're serving up the good stuff at 10 great restaurants. It all adds up to big fun at Cash Creek Casino Resort. Play here, play the best.
From the moment they're born, their brains develop at fantastic speeds. Neurons connect by the millions, and their brains grow stronger. You can help fuel this growth with the sights and sounds of words and song. So talk with them. Read with them.
Will we read you this book?
Sing with them. Begin the moment they're born. Learn more at first5california.com.
What's special for us?
Bring your family. Let your children experience this.
I was just so amazed. They're amazing, amazing dancers.
I wish I could say it again like right now.
Coming to Berkeley, San Jose, and San Francisco.
Get me out of here! He started it.
Tonight at 9 on KTVU Fox 2.
Take a look at these numbers. Stocks have veered sharply lower in afternoon trading today, pulling the Dow Jones down by 700 points. We're just off that right now, but still a huge drop, a wave of selling that's essentially erasing and more the market's gains from yesterday.
DNA test kits are a hot holiday gift this year, and they could help you make important decisions about your health. That was the case for two sisters and cancer survivors from Menlo Park. KTVU's Christina Rendon tells us how one sister's advice to take a physician's ordered test helped the other make a very important decision. And a warning from experts before you do the same.
For Kim Garlinghouse-Jones, cancer has been a thread weaved throughout her life.
I started out as an oncology nurse because that was an area of interest of mine.
She's studied breast and ovarian cancer in families, not knowing she would eventually develop breast cancer at age 40. The mother of 4 girls was nursing her youngest when she felt a lump.
I had been so healthy my whole life, and how could I have breast cancer? Turned out that I was advanced enough to need a double mastectomy and chemo and radiation.
Years later, and after a second diagnosis of tongue cancer, Kim took a genetic test. It showed she had a CHEK2 gene mutation. So when her sister Meg was diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years ago, Kim urged Meg to take a genetic test through a company called Color Genomics. Color, based in Burlingame, is a physician-ordered genetic test available online. The at-home saliva test looks for gene mutations linked to hereditary cancers and heart conditions.
She did testing, genetic testing with Color Genomics, to determine that she did not actually carry, and learned that she did not carry the mutation.
That information saved Meg from having a double mastectomy like doctors initially recommended. Instead, Meg had the lump removed.
She is incredibly relieved and grateful that she has that information, and she wouldn't have that information if I hadn't pushed to have genetic testing done in the first place.
Amy Blanco, director of the Cancer Genetics and Prevention Program at UCSF, says Color is a diagnostic genetic test.
The diagnostic tests, something like what Color is doing,
FDA approval to test for genetic risk, cancer risk, medication response, and carrier status. Emily Gervant-Conley, Vice President of Business Development for 23andMe, says her company's technology is groundbreaking.
We've been able to show to the FDA that people can really understand this information. That was part of the FDA authorization process. We just get tremendous feedback. We have a really high rating from our customers.
But some customers are downloading their raw data and taking it to a third-party service for interpretation. A recent study by the American College of Medical Genetics and Genomics revealed a 40% false positive rate in the results from direct-to-consumer genetic tests and misinterpretations when analyzed by third-party services. The concern? This could create false reassurances or lead to unnecessary medical treatment.
We have significant disclaimers when people download that raw data that that data is processed in a different way. We're not standing by any interpretation of that information, but people have taken that and then they get these third-party interpretations of it, and that's where the confusion lies.
She says 23andMe stands by the test, but notes it's not a substitute for visits to a healthcare provider. Blanco agrees, saying anyone with a concern about a specific inherited risk should seek a genetic counselor or specialist.
There's all kinds of direct-to-consumer genetic tests out there, and as long as people realize that for entertainment purposes, that's fine, it's unlikely to really be useful for true healthcare.
She adds the color test is more comprehensive. Kim says Meg was required to speak with a color genetic counselor to interpret the results. Both sisters are in remission. What have you learned from all of this?
That genetic testing is going to revolutionize healthcare. We don't need to be afraid of it, and I think it's changed the trajectory of my health and the health of my family.
Christina Rendon, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
On KTVU.com, you can see more stories like this one. It's all part of our Strands of Truth, our half-hour special on all about DNA genetic testing. You can also watch the entire program on our YouTube page.
Well, we all know living here in the Bay Area is very expensive. Now some Bay Area teachers are getting a life-changing surprise. How the College Football Playoff Foundation is stepping in to help them with housing costs.
More than 100 police officers inside a Target seems like an alarming situation, but it's all for a good cause. We'll tell you about the Shop with a Cop event coming up.
It's a big division showdown as the Titans clash with the Jaguars. Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
You know when you're at Ross and you find their favorite hero at a price that makes you the hero? That's Yes for Less. With hot holiday toys for all ages, Ross is your toy destination. It feels even better when you find it for less at Ross. Yes for Less.
Why are so many people switching their Medicare coverage to Kaiser Permanente Senior Advantage? Is it because there's zero annual deductible?
And zero copays for preventive care.
Or because you get quality care and affordable coverage?
That also includes prescription drug coverage.
Maybe it's because you can visit your doctor, get tests, and refill prescriptions.
Often in one convenient location.
Or because you get your choice of all available Kaiser Permanente doctors.
And all available doctors and even specialists welcome Kaiser Permanente Medicare Health Plan members.
Or is it because Kaiser Permanente's Medicare Health Plan is rated 5 out of 5 stars in California 8 years in a row? That's Medicare's highest possible rating.
You can enroll online or by phone in as little as 20 minutes. What are you waiting for?
Find out for yourself. Call now and get your free Kaiser Permanente Guide to Medicare.
Choosing the right Medicare health plan can be easy.
Call Kaiser Permanente.
There's zero annual deductible and zero copays for preventive care. You get quality care and affordable coverage with prescription drug coverage. You can visit your doctor, get tests, and refill prescriptions, often in one convenient location. You get your choice of all available Kaiser Permanente doctors.
And the peace of mind that comes from knowing your Medicare health plan has earned 5 out of 5 stars. Medicare's highest possible rating.
Call 1-877-258-8922 now to speak with one of our Kaiser Permanente Medicare specialists and get your free Kaiser Permanente Guide to Medicare. Call 1-877-258-8922 now or visit us at kp.org/stars. That's 1-877-258-8922 and get your free Kaiser Permanente Guide to Medicare. Call now.
You know when you're at Ross and you realize
sister stop borrowing your sweaters? Yeah, that's yes for less.
Stop stealing mine.
Never. The perfect sweater makes the perfect holiday gift, and it feels even better when you find it for less at Ross. Yes for less.
The casket of President George H.W. Bush remains in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda this noontime, where members of the public are paying their respects. The 41st president's flag-draped casket will lie in state until tomorrow's funeral service to be held at the National Cathedral. This is a live look once again at what's happening inside the rotunda as people come to say goodbye. Long lines of people, including everyday Americans as well as dignitaries and politicians, are making their way through the Capitol Rotunda. Many in the crowd recognize President Bush as a fair and honest leader from a different era of American politics.
He comes from a generation of people that treat people like people, and it's just wonderful.
I knew he'd always keep his word. And he'd always keep your confidence if you asked him to keep your confidence. I miss him.
After the state funeral tomorrow morning, President Bush's casket will be flown home to Texas. A private funeral service will be held Thursday in Houston. The president will be buried at his library in College Station next to his wife Barbara and their daughter. World dignitaries are making plans to attend President Bush's funeral service tomorrow. Prince Charles will be there representing the royal family. Just this morning, the official Twitter account representing Prince Charles and his wife posted, "The Prince will be representing Her Majesty the Queen." We're going to bring you live coverage of the funeral service tomorrow here on Mornings on 2. President Trump and the First Lady Melania Trump will also attend, and in the spirit of bipartisanship, President Bush said, upon looking ahead to what the plans would be for his funeral, he made a point of saying, yes, even though I did not support him during the campaign, I want President Trump at my funeral service.
And flags are flying at half-staff at the state capitol in Sacramento to honor the former president.
We also reflect on the life and times of former President George H.W. Bush. So if we could, a brief moment of silence, respect and remembrance.
California Governor-elect Gavin Newsom called for a moment of silence to honor Mr. Bush before convening the state legislature yesterday. In a statement, Newsom said America has lost a voice for unity and civic engagement. Her Governor Jerry Brown said America's lost a true public servant. While most people are remembering George H.W. Bush as a public official, one Bay Area woman has more personal memories. KTVU's Jana Katsuyama spoke to Lori Firestone, who worked as the White House Social Secretary for 12 years during the Reagan and the Bush administrations, and saw the private side of George and Barbara Bush.
When Lori Firestone opens her photo albums,
Here I am in the Oval Office.
her personal memories show another side of presidential history.